It is a beautiful morning for some playoff football in West Texas. Sul Ross State hosts your Southwestern Pirates here on SHN Sports. I'm your play-by-play broadcaster, Carl Schoening, alongside Charles Tracy. And down on the camera is Mickey Holden. And Chuck, as we get rolling here, it's the final game of the season, and both of these teams looking for their first win. Sul Ross hosting because we have opportunity to get fans into the stadium and a good amount of Pirate faithful joining us here on the quote-unquote home side with the press box.
Well, and I think Sul Ross knew, or they heard, the rumor was out that we enjoyed traveling on these trips, and so they were like, well, of course we're going to have this playoff game in Alpine instead of Georgetown, Texas. Both teams are very excited. You can see a lot of pregame energy from both sides of the ball. Both teams looking for that first win in this COVID-ravaged season that, was canceled initially in the fall and rescheduled for the spring, and here we are. It's just about to end. And the amazing thing is we'll finish football today in the American Southwest Conference for Southwestern, and we'll turn around and be starting it right back up again in just a few months.
Jacob Wiebelhaus, Mason Biggers, Major George, and Ben Brockman, the captains, about to meet at middle of the field for the coin toss, and we'll see if we can get the Sul Ross State captains here in a moment. All I can really see is Matthew DeLeon, running back for Sul Ross, about to head out, and he seems like he'll be the lone captain as the four aforementioned Pirates will meet out there at midfield, and we'll see how this game will start off here. About 2.5 minutes away from kickoff.
Boy, De Leon, a bit of a load, 5'11", 230 pounds. That's quite a running back.
You'll be hearing us say the name Ozias Wright a lot this afternoon, or this morning, if you will, going into the afternoon, as he is their leading rusher, somebody to keep an eye on for Sul Ross State. Coach mentioned it during SU Football Weekly that it is the main guy to keep an eye on, their best players, their running back, Ozias Wright. The coin toss happening here at midfield. Major George called heads, and it'll be a received kickoff by Sul Ross State. Yeah, and electing to defend the north end zone to start things off will be the Pirates. And you can see the energy, Chuck. We're ready to play the last game of the season.
That's right. And this Pirate defense has shown up big in a lot of games. One of the problems they've had this season is getting off to slow starts defensively. So hopefully they'll have shorn that up going into tonight's game. And obviously that's why Sul Ross State said, give us the ball. Let's get them while they're still sleeping. But like we said, there's a lot of energy on the Southwestern Pirate sideline, and I expect that to continue into the early part of this game, and then momentum will dictate how long that energy level stays up.
Well, Will Herbst will kick things off to start this game, and we are just having a typical public address to go through the COVID protocols, and now we will have the national anthem here on SHN Sports. A nicely done recording of the national anthem played before we get things underway here. It's football for brunch on SHN Sports. 15 minutes put on the clock. The pregame officially taken off of our SHN scoreboard, and we'll get ready to get this game underway in a moment. The Pirates wearing their white jerseys with yellow and black stripes, black helmets with yellow stripes down the middle, and SU on the side of the helmets. On the other side, Sul-Ross State wearing the red pants, the black jerseys, and the Onyx helmets with their R logo on the side.
So that's onyxed color?
It looks like it's red and onyx. There's a good chunk of red here as we get to see it.
Flat grayish color, but you're right. The shirts are very dark as well. I like those uniforms for Sul-Ross State, but of course I love the uniforms for Southwestern.
Back deep to receive is Corey McMahon and Janavion Gonzalez. Will Herbst will kick this one away from the 35. He'll take a 9-yard charge as he lines this one up. Readies his teammates, puts toe to leather, and the ASC playoff game is underway. It'll be taken on the left side from McMahon. He'll try to take it to the middle field to the left hash mark, and that wasn't a good idea as he is taken down near the 5-yard line. And starting with his feet in the end zone will be Clayton Maxwell, the quarterback for Sul-Ross State, as that is not the best decision to kind of move it laterally there.
Well, and the pregame energy spills out into the kickoff as Bernard Century hustles downfield and makes a tackle inside the 10 to force Sul-Ross State to start with their backs to their goal line.
Jaden Pete, the typical backup quarterback, will start things off in the pistol. He has right behind him, sends a man in motion, and it'll be a give to right who bounces around left end, spins across the 10, and gets a solid gain on first down.
Stop made there by number 94, Jason Lund. Looks like they're going to give him about 2 yards, Carl.
And that's getting the running game going early here for Sul-Ross. We talked about it on SU Football Weekly. That'll be the key here for the Pirates defense, is to stop the run game and let the rest of the defense do the work.
It is the bread and butter of Sul-Ross State.
Pete in the shotgun. Moves right over to his right, and on the end around will give it to Moody, and Moody will stretch to the right side. He's met by Ben Brockman. He gets away from Brockman and gets out of bounds just short of the yard to gain. Flags being asked for by the Sul-Ross State sideline. None coming, and it'll bring up 3rd and short for the Lobos.
The
do give it the
Pirates
first down.
did a decent job of stringing it out, but they missed a couple of opportunities at tackles, and it cost them a first down.
No flag thrown, but it does go ahead and move the chain, so I guess a little bit of a half call there for the officials. It looked like he stepped out of bounds just shy of the yard gain. Instead, it'll be 1st and 10 and no penalty on the Pirates. Clock still moving at 3:53 here in the first quarter. Pete will drop back for his first pass of the afternoon or the morning, and he rolls out to the right, decides to tuck it and run, and Bernard Century pushes him out of bounds after about a 6-yard gain on first down.
Well, and that's part of the offense there. They'll set up to look like a pass, and they'll utilize the running back or the quarterback position as a running back. About 4 yards remaining here to convert.
From the 27-yard line, it's 2nd and 3 officially, and a little bit of a slowdown here from Sul-Ross State as they get orders from the sidelines. Play clock down to 17 seconds. Trips left, single receiver to the right, right in the pistol behind Pete, and Wright gets the handoff. He's going to pick up the first down more across the 30. He loses the football at the 35, but the play is blown dead, and it's a first down picked up at the 35-yard line for the Lobos and Wright.
Peyton Ludeman there on the stop. He came up from his safety position and cut him down, but you can see why the running back, Ozias Wright, is a leader in their ground game. He's got a little bit of a wiggle, and he can get skinny in those holes and bust into the second level.
Jaden Pete slowing things down yet again after the first down picked up to the Lobos' own 35-yard line. The new yard to gain is about the 45, still in Lobos territory. First drive of the game. 12:48 left to play. The clock ticking here in the first quarter. 2 receivers to the left, a single receiver to the right, right in the backfield with Pete, who drops back for a pass. He rolls out to the right as he's under pressure, decides to throw out to the sideline. It is completed to Corey Driver as he picks up about 5 yards on first down.
And there's a good conservative pass on the sidelines for the Lobos as they, continue to move the ball down the field and don't have any negative plays so far.
Well, actually, they call driver out of bounds on the catch. It didn't look like it from our angle, but it does stop the clock on an incompletion at 12:37 in 2nd and 10 here from the 35. Wright is in the pistol. Going in motion is Schnotz as he moves over to the flanker on the right side, and Wright will follow that block, and he is brought down from behind. Making the stop for the Pirates is Seth McCrum.
Great play by McCrum. He pushed right through the middle of the offensive line of the Lobos and presented himself, wrapped up the running back before he could get any kind of forward momentum.
Ended up being a loss of 2 as Seth McCrum, the defensive tackle, 5'11", 261 junior, makes the stop for the Pirates, and for the first time at 3rd down behind the chains for the Lobos this morning.
First negative play that lost yardage.
Trips left single receiver to the right. Wright is in the pistol behind Pete. Now Wright moves to the left of Pete, who has to pass on 3rd and 12. He's going to roll out to the right, keeping his eyes down the field, decides to tuck it and run, and he is not going to get past the Pirates' defense. 4th down brought up at the 39-yard line in Lobos territory.
Number 33, Edmundo Suarez there cleaning up the quarterback, Pete, making sure he didn't get much more than a few yards. It's going to bring up 4th and about 6 and force a punt.
Elijah Norris goes back deep to receive this punt. He's sent away about the 25 as it's Dylan Dunbar who kicks it, and it rolls to about the 30 in Pirates territory and is downed right there at the 30. And that's where the Pirates will have their first drive of the game after the defense keeps the Lobos from entering the Pirates side of the field.
And we don't give up a touchdown on the opening drive, which is, something I mentioned pregame that has happened in the prior games is, typically a team will come out with a scripted set of plays that they've scouted against the defense, and they've been able to move the ball down the field. You saw the Lobos able to move the ball, but the Pirate defense steps up and stops them from driving beyond midfield.
11:05 left to play in the first quarter for the Pirates. First possession, Landry Gilpin with an empty back set, trips to the left, 2 receivers to the right, 5 wide, and a flag comes in. That'll go against the Pirates. A false start backs them up 5 yards before their first play from scrimmage.
Well, and that's not good. We talked about Sol Ross only getting a negative play after several 5-6 plays into the drive, and it was just a 2-yard loss, and the Pirates come out first play pre-snap foul. We got to watch that. Put yourself behind the 8 ball a little bit.
Ethan Powell and Adrian Garza lined up on the right side. Trips to the left for Gilpin, as it doesn't look like the play has changed that much. It's a pass for Gilpin, and he tries to get a pass to midfield. It falls incomplete, intended for Zach Vilo, and he had a really big week last week as kind of the running back position, and he's lined up as a receiver and almost makes a big explosive play on the first one from scrimmage.
They had a nice little skinny post run there, and the pass was accurate, but number 17, Jonathan Gonzalez, broke it up. He arrived about the same time the ball did, prevented the reception.
Incompletion stops the clock at 11:01 here in the first quarter. 2nd and 15 for the Pirates as Austin Castilleja returns the action, goes in motion. He completes the catch, but then he is hit again right there by Gonzalez, and Gonzalez on 2 defensive plays already has 2 tackles.
No loss on that play. It looks like they're going to actually gain about a yard, but it's 3rd and very long for the Pirates. This opening drive, not kind of the way you want to come out offensively.
Dawson Gonzalez enters the game. He's been playing the fullback position as the Pirates go for a huddle look here with 19 seconds on the play clock. They break it. 3rd and 14, 10:27, and the clock ticking here in the first quarter. A pistol look with Gonzalez behind Landry Gilpin. A hard count forces another false start for the Pirates as Gilpin was trying to maybe get an offsides from the Lobos, and that'll cost his team 5 yards.
Well, and there's no real excuse for that because as an offensive player, you know the snap count. So a hard count should not affect you because you should be listening for the call of the cadence. It's going to be 3rd and 19 now.
The ball moved to the Pirates' 21-yard line. The yard to gain is the 40. Pirates on their first drive trying to avoid a 3-and-out. trips right, a single receiver to the left. Gilpin has Gonzalez to his right. He'll drop back for a pass. He's under pressure, and he's going to roll out to the right, keeping his eyes down the field. Lobs one up deep down the sideline and almost intercepted by Gonzalez. Looking for Austin Castilleja. Just going for that home run play to try and get that first down on 3rd and 19, and instead the punting unit and Will Herbst will come out.
Well, in that pass, had it been intercepted by the defender who was the only player that had a real opportunity at it, and he had a good set of downs there, Joven Gonzalez, had he caught it, it was essentially a punt. Now, because he dropped it, we get Will Earp's punt, which may even be a further movement of field possession.
Parker is back deep to receive this punt. Earps does a great job making it bounce at around the 43, and then Parker fields it at the 35, and he stumbles out of bounds to the right side and has a little something to say to the Pirate that tripped him up, and the officials kind of break it up for just a moment before it elevates anything, and the Lobos start their second possession around the 35-yard line.
And essentially, unless there was a big return from Gonzalez, had he intercepted that pass, you end up starting your possession about the same area of the field. And Sol Ross, the Lobos, find themselves about where they were when they punted at the end of their last possession. So no real flip of the field by the Pirates.
9:42 left in this first quarter this morning, and the second offensive possession for the Lobos, as it'll be another give to Wright. He bounces outside, gets across the 35, stays on his feet at the 40, and stiff arms the defender as he runs out of bounds at the 44-yard line in Lobos territory.
I'm surprised there wasn't a hold call there on the edge. The defender for the Pirates, Camden Terry, was trying to set the edge, and he was pulled, and that's the point of attack. Generally, you'll get a call. They did not on that play, so it's now 2nd and short.
They keep the clock rolling here, 9:20 and moving in the first quarter, 2nd and 1 after a pickup of 9 from Wright. Jaden Pete in the pistol loses the ball. Wright picks it up and decides to try and make something out of nothing, and he's going to lose the ball out of bounds. It goes out of bounds on the fumble, and we'll go ahead and say that, Camden Terry had a big part in that play for a loss and brings up 3rd down.
I guarantee you he was upset about the hold not being called, and it motivated him to come up and make a big play for the Pirates and force a very important 3rd down here early in the first period.
8:44 left to play in the first here on a big 3rd down as the Pirates try to get their defense off of the field. Wright is in the pistol behind Pete. 2 receivers to the right, a flanker on that side as well, and a receiver to the left as Wright moves over to the left side of Pete. Now sends a man in motion. That's Moody. Fakes the handoff to Moody and gives it to Wright. Wright tries to go up the gut. He's not going to get it. He's stopped by the defensive line of the Pirates.
That's led by Malik McDonald, number 92. He led the charge, but there were several Pirates there to ensure no real forward progress on that run attempt.
We'd like to welcome,
give him 2 yards, but.
And that does bring up 4th down. We'd like to welcome all 166 of you watching here. It's a good morning for some football. Beautiful day out in West Texas, and the Pirates are about to get the football back as Eli Norris goes back to receive this punt.
This special teams team needs to watch out for a fake attempt because it is only a yard to gain for the Lobos to continue this drive.
Chad Cross will punt this one away from around the 30-yard line in his own territory. He takes a couple steps, and line drives this one over the head of Norris, and Norris will let this one bounce. He tries to block out a couple defenders as it goes into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback.
He did a good job of doing that. He's allowed to be on the field. They have to run around him, and so it's good that as long as you don't touch the football there and you see that it's progressing towards the goal line and likely will be a touchback, then use your body and make them either run through you or around you, which will allow the ball to go for a touchback.
I don't know if Eli Norris has ever played basketball, but he certainly looked like a rebounding position right there to send a few Lobos away from making that a down inside the 5. Instead, the Pirates will start at their own 20. 1st and 10, their second possession of the football game. We're scoreless with 7:25 left to play in the first quarter. Gonzalez is in the pistol behind Landry Gilpin. 2 receivers on both sides. Play action for Gonzalez. He tried to follow, or for Gilpin, he tried to follow Gonzalez on the block and bounced back to the left side, and I think he's brought down for a loss. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. That's what they'll say, as he saw the hole that Gonzalez tried to make for him close. Maybe there was something on the other side, and no gain on the play.
Well, 98, Eduardo Garcia got a nice penetration for the Lobos and prevented Gilpin from continuing to move to his right. He had no option but to go back left, and there was backside help there.
6:54 left to play in the first quarter. Gilpin in the shotgun, Gonzalez to his right. Two receivers on both sides, a hard count, makes some movement happen at the front of the line, and now Adrian Garza goes in motion, gets the end around, follows Gonzalez's block, gets to the 24-yard line before he is pushed out of bounds on the play by James Parker.
Nice job following his blocks. The Lobo defense did an okay job of stringing it out, but the Pirates able to gain about 4 yards on that play.
It'll be 3rd and 6. 6:32 left to play in this first quarter, and the Pirates trying to pick up their first down of the ball game. Ethan Powell and Mason Biggers lined up on the left side. Gilpin has Castilla to his right, and he looks across the middle, and it is caught by Joey Robinson. Robinson looking for the first down, picks it up, and a flag comes in. Let's see what the laundry's about.
Mask.
Well, you saw it better than I did, and you do see Joey Robinson picking up the first down for the Pirates, and will tack on 15 more at the end of the play.
Ronan Williams there on the stop. And that is a drive, this is a first down regardless, but that adds a little bit to the drive, puts the Pirates near midfield, and it opens up options for the coaching staff. You can take a few more risks when you get towards midfield or deeper in your opponent's territory.
Pirates picked up a couple penalties in the first offensive series, and here the Lobos pick one up after the Pirates pick up their first offensive first down, and now it'll be Gilpin on 1st and 10, passing it to the right side. It's completed to Anthony Stevens into Lobos territory and knocking on the door of the red zone of the Pirates here on their second drive of the ball game with 5:46 left to play in the first. The clock stops to move the chains.
What hand-eye coordination from Anthony Stevens. The ball was already there when he turned out of that route, and he just threw his hands in front of it like it was nothing and snatched it up.
In the backfield for the Pirates is Brady French. Gilpin in the shotgun will fake the handoff to French, roll out to the right, keeps his eyes down the field, one pump fake, and then he just throws wide of Anthony Stevens, passing complete, and stops the clock at 5:19 in the first. Brings up 2nd and 10 for the Pirates at the 25-yard line.
Gilpin was dealing with a lot of pressure on that play. Lorenzo Fowler leading the way for the Lobos. But he held it as long as he could, and by the time he released the ball, the receiver was too close to the sideline for it to be an effective route.
Gilpin comes in with a new play from the sideline. Anthony Stevens lined up, isolated on the right side. Castilleja, Adrian Garza, and Ethan Powell on the left side. French is in the backfield with Gilpin, who tries to roll out of the pocket. He runs into some pressure, tries to toss it to French. That's a loose ball. It's picked up by French, but it's blown dead.
Yeah, that was a forward pass.
Oh, okay, there you go.
It just was odd looking because he flipped it underhanded to French, but it did move forward. There is a foul in the backfield. It could be a hold. It could be an illegal man downfield. We'll see. That's odd. But in the offensive line, that does tend – I mean, if there's going to be a face mask offensively, it's generally in the trenches.
Yeah, I feel bad. The first time we're saying Joshua Pinkard's name is here on this face mask as he picks it up and puts the Pirates behind the chains to the 40-yard line. The yard to gain is the Lobos 15. So it's also 3rd down, so 3rd and 25.
They repeat 2nd down because of the penalty.
Sorry, they haven't changed it on the scoreboard there. You're right, it is 2nd down here. Castilla goes in motion back to the left side. Gilpin will sidearm it, tried to get it to his intended receiver, Adrian Garza, but a nice job breaking that pass up for the Lobos by Tyson Brown.
And the Pirates are lucky that wasn't intercepted. It was a nice pass, but I don't think Gilpin saw Brown, or else he would not have released that pass.
Now it's 3rd down, 3rd and 25 from the 40. Pirates in Lobos territory trying to be the first one to break this scoreless tie.
You get a decent gain here on 3rd down, you may consider going for it. But if it's a really good gain, you may consider a field goal from Herbst.
Adrian Garza goes over to the left side as Vilo comes over to the right side. Vilo will go in motion now. He fakes the end around from Gilpin. Gilpin decides to tuck it and run up the middle. He has space as he crosses the 30 to the 25, makes a man miss and gets to the 20-yard line. Saving that one from being a first down for the Lobos was Corey McMahon. And if it weren't for that, I think Gilpin picks up the first down and says 4th and 5.
He may have even scored had that tackle not occurred. Now, the decision already pre-made by Coach Austin. He knew if he got a decent gain, he was going to send Erbst out and break the scoreless tie here.
Erbst will try a 37-yard field goal. Coleman Kerr, the holder. Erbst puts toe to leather. This one has the distance and the accuracy, and the Pirates are the first ones on the scoreboard. 4:17 left to play in the first, and it's 3-0 on their second offensive drive of the game. A good job by Landry Gilpin to get in scoring position for Will Herbst, who knocks through the 37-yarder.
Another first for the Pirates in this abbreviated season. They're the first to score in this game, and in the previous games, they've fallen behind in each of those games and had to battle back early in those games. So great job by the Pirate offense, great job by Gilpin to try to convert the first down but get as close as he can and set up a moderately long but attainable 38-yard field goal for Will Herbst.
So this will be the third possession for the Lobos as Herbst will now do his kickoff duties. That's right, he's the place kicker and the punter for the Pirates. And kickoffs,
he also can
field
tackle
goals.
pretty well. We've seen him make a few tackles in his career as well. So
he's definitely a fun kicker to watch. You can go back a couple weeks. I believe it was 2 weeks ago he was a guest on SU Football Weekly. During the season, every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. We usually do it at the Sheridan. COVID kind of limited that, and nowadays we just do it virtually. You missed the last one. It was the last one of the season this past Wednesday. 4:17 left to play in the first quarter. The Pirates lead at 3-0. Herbst will line up a 9-yard charge from the 35. This is a booming punt that will be called for a fair catch by Corey McMahon in the end zone and a touchback to start off the third drive of the game for the Lobos.
And obviously McMahon got chewed on from his coaching staff for returning that opening kick as he wisely threw his hand in the air as soon as Herbst put toe to leather, as you wisely said earlier. That he knew I'm fair catching this because they want it on the 25. They don't want me trying to return this.
4:07 left to play in the first quarter from the 25-yard line in their own territory. The Lobos have the ball. You might be able to hear that the 11:22 train is right on time behind us. Wright moves offset to the right, and he'll get the fake handoff from Pete as he bounces out to the right side. Easton Feller wraps him up and brings him down for a minimal gain of 4.
And you see why Easton Feller gets a lot of playing time in that secondary, because not only can he provide coverage, he can come up and support the run as well. And that's a big, fast quarterback that Easton Feller just dropped easily there. Decent gain on first down, but still a great tackle.
2nd and 6 here as the clock's moving at 3:37 left to play in the first quarter. Lobos trying to answer back to the field goal to make it 3-0. Pirates. Wright will move to the right of Pete. Pete will drop back for a pass, and he lobs this one up down the left sideline and just out of the reach of Corey Driver. Falls incomplete. Eli Norris there on the coverage, and, he could hear the footsteps, and he was half a stride away from picking up an explosive play, though.
And that pass was almost as just this much shy of perfect, just, an inch shy from being a completion for the Lobos, and it could have continued. But Norris was pretty close. I would expect he probably would have made the tackle, but regardless, pass too long, 3rd down.
Incompletion stops the clock at 3:22 left to play in the first. 3rd and 6, ball on the 29-yard line of the Lobos. Pete will drop back for a pass, senses the pocket collapsing, and then he gets brought down in the backfield.
That was a great job by the Pirates, Edmundo Suarez, to prevent Pete from moving to the right where he had most open space when he was forced back the other direction towards here, the Pirate sideline. there were a couple of other Pirates waiting to swallow him up and force a punt.
And Jason Lund will be the one credited for the tackle that brings up 4th down. And apparently no gain on the play. Doesn't matter. It's 4th and 6 with the clock moving at 2:46 left to play in this first quarter. Austin Castilleja back deep. Oh, I believe that's Eli Norris back deep to receive. This punt coming from Chad Cross. And it'll bounce it around the 35 and is downed right around there, and an extra push. And then, geez, I didn't see what happened right there. The official had his back to the play, and another Pirate ends up on the deck, but no flags coming in, and it's getting a little chippy out there. Chuck, 3-0 ball game, the last game of the season. They're all leaving it on the field today.
Both teams want to win this game very badly. You don't want to finish the season winless, and the last thing the Lobos want is for the Pirates to have traveled from Central Texas to come in here and get a win, and the Pirates, they just want to win.
2:32 left to play in the first quarter. Pirates looking to add on to their 3-0 lead. 1st and 10 from the 38 in their own territory. Gilpin will send Garza in motion. Garza stutter steps to the right tackle and moves to the left side. Gilpin rolls out to the right and then throws it down the right sideline. Wide open is Anthony Stevens, but it's incomplete as he couldn't come down with the catch in the field of play, and that stops the clock at 2:23 in the first.
That's a tough break for Stevens because he was in a good position to make that reception, but the pass was just a little bit back shoulder, and he was unable to maintain awareness of where he was on the sideline. He made the catch, but he did it going out of bounds. The referee said no catch, out of bounds.
Very close to maybe if Anthony Stevens,
big game so far.
Very close to being an uncontested touchdown had he been able to have like a half a second more to gather himself. Instead, it's 2nd and 10. Gilpin on a designed quarterback rollout to the left, lobs it to Adrian Garza, and Garza has the left sideline to run down the 30 to the 20, and he is brought down in the red zone for the Pirates on an explosive play from the 38 all the way of the Pirates all the way to the Lobos 15-yard line.
Well-designed play. They brought the defense up because of the quarterback draw that Gilpin presents a danger with his legs, so they have to bring their secondary and linebackers up. Garza sneaks behind the coverage, and Gilpin just flips it to a wide-open Garza, and he takes it down the sidelines and sets the Pirates up in the red zone.
New set of downs at the 15-yard line of the Lobos. Pirates looking for their first touchdown of the morning. 2 receivers on both sides. In the shotgun, Landry Gilpin. He's going to roll out to the right, and then he shovels it to French. French rolls out stretches to the right side and picks up about 5 yards to the 5-yard line. Call 10, and I think this will move the chains. It will. So 1st and goal from the 5 for the Pirates with 1:40 left to play in this first quarter.
French had the sideline except for the defender for the Lobos, number 6, James Parker, continued to fight his blocker and force French out of bounds and prevent him from getting an opportunity to get across the goal line.
Gilpin has an empty backfield. Vilo and Biggers lined up on the right side. And now Vilo goes in motion, faking the handoff to him is Gilpin. He'll look to the right side and goes for the corner, and Robinson just has it bobble out of his hands, incomplete.
Good pass. It really could have only been caught by Robinson there in the corner. Unable to handle it. It was a little bit of mustard on that one as he flung it sidearm to the back corner of the end zone. Good attempt, but it's 2nd down now.
Clock stops at 1:06 on the incompletion. Pirates up 3-0, looking to get their first touchdown of the morning, and here on their 4th drive of the ball game. French is in the backfield with Gilpin. Biggers moves over to the slot on the left side. Castilleja and Ethan Powell on that left side as well. And now Castilleja goes in motion to the right side. Gilpin decides to try and go up the middle himself, and he picks up a couple yards to about the 2 or 3 here on 2nd down. It'll bring up 3rd and short. 3rd and goal from about the 2.
Well, and Gilpin saw the defense move towards the pitch man on that option look, and he decided to cut it up. Unfortunately, he kind of cut it up just as a hair too early. Had he given another second, he would have had an open lane likely and taken that across the goal line. Easy for me to say from up here.
12 seconds left on the play clock, 32 seconds left in the opening quarter this morning, and the Pirates are going to get this play off. 2 men in the backfield. It's Castilleja in the pistol and Dawson Gonzalez to the right of Gilpin. Gilpin will have an option play here, and it'll be a pass for Castilleja should he try to lob it up, and it's bobbled and incomplete, and that'll stop the clock at 15 seconds left in the first quarter. And here's a question for you, Chuck. Do you go for the field goal, or do you go for 4th and goal from the 3?
I think I go for it here. I'm feeling pretty good about the defensive play. There is a flag on the play. The Pirates are very lucky that they did not turn the ball over there on that play. The pass was a little bit forced by Castilleja. He had a man in the end zone, but there were 2 defenders near him. There's a new set of downs.
Half the distance to the goal will make it about 1.5 yards and 1st and goal. So the Pirates do catch a break there twice, I guess. The face mask, which I guess if there was an interception, probably would have
turned it over.
Yeah.
Right.
So
it would have overturned the play.
Yeah. Either way, the Pirates here with 15 seconds left in the first quarter will try and punch it in from about the 1.5 yard line.
I'd give it to French here off the left side behind left tackle.
Gilpin in the shotgun, French to his right. And Gilpin with an option play, pitches it to French. French tries to make a defender miss, goes for the end zone, and a flag comes in again as he's down to 1.
Got a little bit, but went the opposite direction of the way I would have recommended. They went to the strength of the defense, to the wide side of the field.
Let's see what the officials say here.
Could be a hold in that area on the edge. We'll see.
The final 35 seconds of this first quarter taking quite a while here. Clock stops at 8 seconds.
It is going to be against the Pirates. It's going to be a hold, looks like.
Holding Castilleja, who was out there on that right side.
Down. The ball will be marked at about the 12 or the 11, looks like.
So the Lobos catch a break this time, and, yeah, it looks like it's about the 11.5 yard line and a repeat 1st and goal. Gilpin in the shotgun, French to his left. Biggers is lined up on the left side with Ethan Powell, and that'll be the end of the first quarter as they wound the clock and 8 seconds tick off. And we head into the second quarter. It's 3-0. Pirates with the lead over the Lobos. I'm Carl Schoening along with Chuck Cracy, Mickey Holden on the camera, and well, Chuck, if you like defense, I think this has been a fun game so far. And that being said, the offenses are still making some fun plays as well.
It has been a fun game, and you can tell that both teams really want this win and are willing to lay it out on the line to get. And so even to the point of trying to get in the opponent's head a little bit when you're on the Lobos sideline, we've seen a little bit of trash talking from the Lobos. And, the Pirates won't generally talk trash, but they certainly don't back down from that kind of intimidation, and will certainly stand right there and let them know I'm not afraid. So, well, hopefully there won't be any extreme shenanigans. I'm good with all of the little bit of trash talk and maybe a shoulder nudge here or there, but
it's definitely a high contact sport.
Yes. But you don't want them swinging at each other. That
indeed,
of course, has happened before, and not for Southwestern in other games at other places.
In football, it happens,
right.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. 15 minutes left in the first half. As we start the second quarter, Gilpin has French to his left. It's 1st and goal from the 11.5. Castilleja goes in motion as he stutter steps behind the right guard. Gilpin rolls out to the left, pump fakes, and now throws it towards the corner, and it'll be intercepted at the goal line. Taking it out to the 5, returning it about 5 yards is James Milo, the defensive back, 5'7", 173 freshman from Houston, Texas, will give new life to this offense and stop the Pirates' drive on the 1st and goal, but a flag is here to maybe save the day for the Pirates.
Maybe. That is a big momentum shift if it does not go in the way or the favor of the Pirates, and it looks like the Lobos are bringing out.
So Ross picks up a sideline interference after the interception, so it will be Lobos football, and they track off half the distance to the goal to the –
About the 4.
Yeah, I think they're going to mark it around the 4 or the 5 for the first offensive possession for the Lobos in the second quarter.
Well, the Pirate defense has an opportunity here to turn that momentum back towards Southwestern with a big play.
Ozias Wright will move to the left of Clayton Maxwell, who we assumed was going to be the starting quarterback. Maxwell, a big boy. He's 5'11", 230, senior third-year letter out of San Antonio O'Connor High School. Blitz being shown by Ben Brockman as they know that this is going the right. Wright tries to counter it to the left side and gets across the 5, picks up about a couple yards on first down.
Brockman there, scoping him out the entire way, got him as he crossed the line of scrimmage, minimized the gain to about, as you said, about 2 yards.
To the 6-yard line.
Clock still moving here. 14:30 up to play in the second quarter. Clayton Maxwell with right behind him in the pistol. And a handoff to Wright, who tries to stretch it around the left side, and he gets hit up at around the 7 and stumbles to the 10, and he's a yard shy of the first down, and 3rd and 1 coming up for Southwestern, and there's an injured Pirate on the field as we hope that Jay Hanna, who's a big player for the Pirates, is okay, as we'll take a break here with 14:08 for the injury timeout. Pirates lead at 3-0 here in the second quarter. Jay Hanna able to come up under his own power with a little help from Coach Austin, and he's going to take his time getting to the sidelines. 14:08 left to play in the second quarter. Pirates lead at 3-0. Interception by the Lobos at the goal line leads to this 3rd and 1 here for the Lobos on their first offensive possession of the second quarter. Clayton Maxwell in the pistol. He has Matthew DeLeon behind him, now shifts over to the left, and Maxwell will try a direct quarterback run. Ben Brockman shuts that one down and brings up 4th down. No gain on the play.
Great job because, you know, that, as you mentioned, that's 230 pounds coming. You would think that you can easily get a 1-yard gain at that height and weight, but Ben Brockman is a well-seasoned and hard-nosed linebacker. But
wow,
they give him the first down. That's
I don't know if I agree with that one, but it was close. I thought Brockman was going to make it a 4th and 1, and instead the officials go ahead and move the chains, and we are looking through the world with black and yellow glasses, Chuck. And
yes,
it is a new set of downs for the Lobos.
And the referees are always a little bit closer to the action to make that call, obviously.
Maxwell in the pistol is right behind him. He gives it to Wright, who goes around left end, and he is brought down from behind by Ben Brockman, who comes flying in, and Eli Norris there to help out after a gain of about 5.
It's a good gain for Osias Wright, but nice job on the tackle as well by the two Pirate defenders.
Ball moved to the 21-yard line, picks up about 6 yards on first down, brings up 2nd and 4.
2nd down and 4 from the 20.
I get the feeling this is going to be a run play to Wright. 2nd and 4, and it is a give to Wright, who goes around right in, and he is shoved on a sidearm there by Armando Suarez.
And it's right to the right, and no gain as Suarez is on that side to clean it up. Forced a yard loss to make it 3rd and 5.
Ball back to the 19-yard line after the Suarez tackle for loss, and it is 3rd and 4 here. About third and 4.5 or 5 here. 12-12 left to play in the second quarter. Maxwell with Wright behind him in the pistol. 2 receivers to the left, a single receiver to the right. Now Wright goes to the right of Maxwell. A blitz being shown by the Pirates and sent. A throw to Wright out of the backfield. He makes the catch, picks up the first down, gets to the 30, and is brought down on the play by the Pirates' Grant Mitchell.
Also there, 21 Jules Wright. Nice to see Mitchell hustling way out into the flat from his tackle position to get in on the stop, though.
The first down picked up to the 31-yard line. Lobos in their own territory. After the chains move, the clock picks back up. 11:42 left to play in the second quarter. Lobos trying to score for the first time here on their first possession in the second quarter. Maxwell will hand it off to Wright, and Wright tries to bounce outside, breaks away from one tackle, and gets to the 35 and down to the 37-yard line.
Well, and that was a rare missed tackle for Edmundo Suarez. He had both hands on Wright, and that just goes to show the slipperiness of Wright as he was able to slide through the grip of Suarez and pick up a nice gain on first down.
Well, how about this one, Chuck? I believe, if I'm not mistaken, listed as defensive back Joshua Spear is in there at number 19, but that's got to be Clayton Maxwell just wearing number 19 jersey.
I'm going to agree with you based on the size.
Yeah, I don't,
because the other is listed at 180.
Yeah, that threw me off a little bit here, but now bouncing out to the right side is Wright. A flag comes in on the play as the Pirates get a tackle for a loss that would bring up 3rd down. See what the penalty's about. It looks like it's a hold. And I think the Pirates will take this and force them back 10 yards and replay second.
Big push on that from the defense led by the tackler, number 30, Micah Justice. 5'11", 173-pound freshman linebacker out of Sherman High School.
Clock stopped at 10:41 to mark off the penalty yards. And the yard to gain, the Lobos have to get to their own 41-yard line, and they're currently sitting at their own 27. Trips right, single receiver to the left. Maxwell in the pistol with Wright behind him. Maxwell with the play action. First time we get to see the big man throw, and he completes a pass out to the left side for the first down as it is caught by Brian Madison. The first reception of the day is a big one for momentum for the Lobos.
Certainly re-injects a little bit of momentum into this drive for the Lobos. Good route by the receiver, Madison, as he ran just to the line of gain and beyond by about a yard turned. Nice delivery from Maxwell, first down Lobos.
I'm going to guess Maxwell must have lost his jersey or something along those lines. That's why we didn't see him at the beginning of the game, and Jaden Peete played the first quarter. Here's Maxwell giving it to Wright, and Wright can't quite follow his right guard. Stays on his feet, churns his legs, spins away from the would-be tacklers. Easton Feller trying to clean it up, and Wright has been doing the extra squats in the weight room to push through that pile, almost gets to midfield, and it'll bring up 2nd and about 2.
You know, that'll make you tired over the course of a game as a running back to have to churn your legs for an extra 4 or 5 yards. The Pirates had several defenders trying to stop it. You know, it's obvious that he's been hitting the weights.
Well, Kendrick Jefferson will now be the running back for Maxwell as Wright gets a well-deserved rest. Clock moving at 9:19 left to play in the second quarter. Lobos trying to get across midfield. They're at their own 49-yard line. Maxwell will drop back for a pass. Hit as he throws, sends it deep down the left sideline. It's completed, and bringing it into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game is Draychan Moody.
That was an excellent pass from Maxwell. The receiver, Moody, had a step on the defender, and he just laid it right into his hands right around the 2-yard line, and momentum carried him across the goal line.
The Lobos take their first lead of the game. And Maxwell will be the holder here for the extra point as Jaden Brown will try and make this a 7-3 ball game. Brown lines it up, almost blocked by a Pirate, Jules Williams, but instead it goes through the uprights and good, and the Lobos take a 7-3 lead. 9:04 left to play in this first half, and
there's got to be an answer. That's just all there is. The Pirates just need to answer back.
Big plays from Maxwell with his arm as he picked up that penalty yardage and more on that after that hold that could have really hurt them, as we kind of see his first completion of the day, and then his second completion of the day goes for about 51 yards for a touchdown.
Well, and you can see that he can spin it pretty well by those passes that he delivered on this drive. One, about a 14, 15-yard out route, and then about a 25 or 30-yard deep route on the out, their home sideline, and for a touchdown. And he laid it, as I said, you can't be more accurate than that pass was.
Well, we welcome all 256 of y'all watching on YouTube here on SHN Sports YouTube channel. 9:04 left to play in the second, and you guys tuned into a good ball game here as it is the last game of the season. Both teams playing with all-out effort, and a little bit of a wrinkle as the game started off with Jaden Pete behind center, and then Clayton Maxwell, who we expected to start, comes in and provides a spark in the first Lobos score of the game on a 51-yard touchdown to Draychan Moody, and the Pirates trying to answer back here. 9:04 left to play in the first half, and we'll go ahead and
Oswaldo Luna.
Yeah, Oswaldo Luna. They're switching up kickers on us. They have a different punter, kicker, and place kicker here. As kickoff kicker and place kicker is a touchback as Eli Norris lets that one go into the end zone, and the Pirates will start their second drive of the second quarter from the 25-yard line.
Obviously, Luna, their power leg, as they wanted to, and as all the teams that have played the Pirates this year have done, either with squib kicks or strategically placed kicks or booming kicks, tried to avoid returns from the Pirate returners. And the Lobos have been successful to this point doing that, as well as the other team.
Found out on SU Football Weekly that Belhaven, apparently they probably just weren't that strong in the kicking game. That's why they didn't send it deep, according to Coach. But I think that a lot of it does go into they don't want to kick it to Eli Norris or Austin Castilleja, two explosive playmakers here. Andrew Gilpin with an empty backfield. We'll send Vilo in motion. Vilo gets it on the end around, and he tries to turn the corner at the 25-yard line, was able to get it to about the 29, and gains 4.
He could, he was too far ahead of the lead block. He had Charles De La Rosa out there on the edge trying to get a block for him, but he ran by him, and, sometimes you got to have a little bit of patience, but at the same time you got to take what's there. And that's what happened. He took what was there.
They call it gain of 5 officially. From the 30, the Pirates have the football. They're in their own territory. Gilpin on 2nd and 5 will fake the end around to Vilo, and this time he'll tuck it and run. And what would be the left B gap, he stutter steps past the defender and then is brought down just shy of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and about 2.
Yeah, we got about 3.5 yards on that, so maybe 1.5 yards, but it is certainly a big play here for the Pirates and their, desire to grab the momentum back in this football game.
7:56 left to play in the second, 20 seconds left on the play clock as the Pirates break their huddle. 3rd and about 1.5 yards here as Gilpin has an empty backfield. 2 receivers to the left, trips to the right. And Gilpin will roll out to that right side. He stops at the right hash mark, and he is brought down in the backfield. The tackle being made by Ronan Williams.
Well, Williams saw Gilpin stop his motion towards the sideline and start moving back towards the center of the field. And like a delayed blitz, he just fired himself forward and made a quick tackle for a loss, forcing a 4th down.
James Parker will be back deep to receive this punt from Earps. 4th and 5 from the 30. Earps will send this one away on his 2-step punt around the 20. Kicks it away from Parker. It takes a Pirates bounce and rolls down that left sideline. A great Pirates bounce across the 25-yard line, and Jules Williams will let it stop its momentum at the 21 before he downs it officially. And, we talk about it all season long. He might be the best kicker in the ASC.
He does more accurate kicks, obviously kicks are with your foot, than most people with golf shots. I mean, he can put it on a backspin where it'll die. He can make it roll forward and hit appropriately. And we saw it there. He hit the sideline, and instead of rolling out of bounds like the momentum would expect, the football being oddly shaped probably had something to do with it, caused it to roll down the sideline.
Maxwell with right behind him in the pistol. 1st and 10 from the 21. Lobos in their own territory. And Suarez with the tackle for loss to the 17, maybe the 18-yard line. Gets the fans into it.
Well, and that is exactly what happened to Suarez a few plays early into that last touchdown drive by the Lobos, where he had right by the hips, and he was able to wiggle free. Suarez made sure he put the kung fu grip on him and said, no, you're not getting out of this one.
6:40 left to play in the second quarter. Maxwell is right behind him. They've been running that pistol set most of the game. Brockman looking like he's going to jump that A-gap. Maxwell will drop back for a pass, looks to the left side, and completes the pass just for about a 5-yard gain, and it's Madsen who comes down with the completion, and that keeps the clock rolling, even though he was lassoed out of bounds with 6:13 left to play in the second.
Well, 3rd and 8, but Maxwell's arm and his accuracy, that's makeable on any given play. There needs to be some pressure applied by that front 4 of the Pirate defense.
Pirate fans stomping their feet on the metal stands here on the Pirate side of the field. 5:54 left to play in the second quarter. The play clock down to 10 seconds. Looks like the Lobos are still communicating what the play will be on 3rd and 8 from the 23.
They may. Yeah, it looks like they're going to try to run the play.
2 seconds on the play clock as the snap gets to Maxwell. He fakes the handoff and then throws it over the left side. It's incomplete to Moody, but a flag comes in. Let's see what this is about here. And
that may be an illegal block before the pass was even completed, as the other receiver was making his block downfield. We'll see what the call is. Offsides. It was a late flag for an offsides.
They call Jason one lined up in the neutral zone. So it remains 3rd down, but we get to do it again. Instead of that incompletion, that would bring up 4th. 5:33 left to play with the clock moving here in the second quarter. Lobos ahead 7-3. Pirates trying to get a stop and see if they can take the lead before they go into the locker rooms.
There was a big swing there. The Pirates are going in for a touchdown. There's an interception, and the Lobos were able to drive down and get a touchdown. So that's a 14-point swing.
That 95-yard touchdown drive, the difference in the football game here. 3rd and 3 from the 28-yard line. Lobos in their own territory. Maxwell almost completes a pass to Madison on the left side. He drops it, and it brings up 4th down. Stops the clock at 5:26 left to play in the second. And the Pirates look like they're going to get the football back here with about 5.5 minutes to go until halftime.
Maxwell couldn't have done anything better on that play. The receiver has to catch that ball for the drive to remain going for the Lobos, and Madison tried to turn and run before he got it.
Eli Norris will set up around the 35-yard line for this punt, as it'll be kicked away by Chad Cross, and it's a booming one that goes well over Norris's head. And this one takes a kind of neutral bounce that will be down at around the 15 or 16-yard line, and it's been tough for Norris to try and get anything going here in the return game with a really good leg on Cross.
Yeah, that was, as you said, a very booming punt. It was easily 10 yards over Norris's head, and even when Norris considered fielding it off the bounce, the kick was so hard that when it hit the ground, it bounced about 12 yards in the air, and it allowed the defenders to get that much closer to Norris and prevent him from really even making an attempt on it.
First and 10 from their own 17-yard line. The Pirates get the football back with 5:15 left to play in the first half. Gilpin will drop back for a pass. He's under pressure and escapes the pocket on a rollout to the right. Decides to tuck it and run. Trying to stretch it around the 20, and he's out of bounds. I think he was close to the first down. Let's see what the white hat says. As I think Gilpin gets out of bounds to stop the clock at 5:05, and it is a Pirates first down and moves the chains. Gilpin picks up 10 yards with his feet.
Pirates first down.
And you see the deceptiveness of Gilpin. You can't trust whether or not he's going to run or pass. You kind of have to play in between and then make your decision once he makes his.
7-3, Lobos lead by 4. Gilpin in the shotgun. Trips to the left, single receiver to the right. Gilpin will drop back for a pass, and he thought about tucking and running, and he pushes a block away to go over the right side. Now he sidearms a pass that's completed just in front of the yard to gain, and it is, I believe, Anthony Stevens. Yes, Anthony Stevens really helping Landry Gilpin out, finding some space on that sideline.
Another example of Gilpin and his ability to run or pass that causes the defense to freeze a little bit and wait for his decision before they react. And the pass delivered nicely. Stevens having a good game as well.
4:22 left to play in this second quarter, and it was a gain of 9 on that completion. Anthony Stevens, 2nd and 1. Flag comes in here as, let's see what this is about.
Maybe 2 men in motion. Oh, too many men in the huddle.
Broke the huddle with 12 people. You know, last week the Pirates picked up, I think, 11 or 24 yards. It was one of those Vilo completions with only 10 players on the field. They don't throw flags on those. But here with 12, obviously they do.
Well, it's when you break the huddle that it's illegal. So if you have 12 men on the field and one runs off, but you were never in a huddle, they generally won't throw that flag.
Cost the Pirates 5 yards, 2nd and 6 from the 31. Southwestern in their own territory. 4:10 left to play with the clock moving here in the first half. Gilpin with an empty backfield will do a 2-step drop, and he just overthrows Joey Robinson, and that'll bring up 3rd down. The incompletion stops the clock at 4:03 in the second quarter.
You know, essentially Gilpin just didn't set his feet like he should when he delivered that pass, and as a result the accuracy was a little off. It was a little high into the back corner. Pirates really fortunate there wasn't a Lobo defender there to potentially take that out of the air.
Pirates looking for a first down here to try and get the lead before the locker rooms. 7-3, Lobos with the lead. 3rd and 6 here from their own 31-yard line. Gilpin will drop back. Rolls out of the pocket to the right side, points out a defender. It's completed for a first down, and just sitting on it was Anthony Stevens at the 43, 44-yard line, and picks up the Pirates' first down, but a flag. Holding will push the Pirates back and will repeat 3rd down.
That's a tough break. Great route by Stevens. He sat down in a zone, in an open area of the zone. Good delivery by Gilpin. It would have been a first down, but, you know, all parts of the offense have to work together for success, and somewhere along the line, a hold was called.
So now it's 3rd and 16. The ball moved to about the 21-yard line. 5 wide for Southwestern. Gilpin will drop back. Under pressure, he rolls out to the left side, arms it to Vilo. Vilo stumbles a little bit, stays on his feet, though, and will not be close to the first down as he gets up yards to the 30, and that pretty much gets back the penalty yards. And with 3:20 left to play and the clock moving here in the second quarter, the Pirates are probably going to have to punt this one back.
Bunch did a good job for the Lobo defense to come up and make that stop to keep Vilo from going any further, and you're right, it forces a punt, and the Lobos have a little bit of momentum with just a few minutes remaining here in the first half.
12 seconds left on the play clock. Earps is not quite ready to kick this one away, but I imagine they're going to use up most of the time. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left, and 2 seconds on the play clock as Earps will kick this one down the left sideline. It'll be angled out of bounds at around midfield. Ooh, that stayed inbounds, didn't it? As it bounced at the 40, no, they will angle it out around midfield. And it'll end up in Lobos territory at the 48-yard line.
obviously not the punt that Erbst was planning when he went out there. He was trying to position it a little bit. It was a little bit off the side of the foot, and as a result went out of bounds on an angle.
It was angled out at the 48, but it looked really close to bouncing in play at around the 35.
Yeah, I was thinking around the 41 would be where I would have marked it. But I'm not the referee. So.
1st and 10 for the Lobos. They're at their own 48-yard line. Clayton Maxwell in the shotgun. He has Wright to his left, and Wright will get the give, and he is tripped up for a moment, and then Ben Brockman comes here to clean it up as the initial hit was laid out by Peyton Vaughn, and then a combination of Jules Williams and
Micah Justice.
Yeah, will come in and make sure that is a limited gain. Actually, no gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
Good job of stringing that play out because you can see pretty regularly the Lobos are just handing it to Wright, going one direction or another, trying to seal the edge and rely on Wright's talent, which is immense.
Ozias Wright moves over to the right here as Maxwell will drop back for a pass, throws across the middle. It's incomplete. The intended target was Vicente Levano, the first time we're saying his name. The freshman can't come up with the pass. A little bit behind him and stops the clock at 1:58 left to play in the second quarter and brings up 3rd down.
Seeing that pass be a little inaccurate, about 1.5 yards behind the receiver, makes me feel a little better about Maxwell's accuracy. He was so accurate on the touchdown pass that it was a little frightening. That if he could do that consistently, that it could be a long day.
3rd and 11. Ball on the 48-yard line. Maxwell in the pistol. 2 receivers on both sides as Wright moves over to the left of Maxwell. Brockman will drop back in coverage after faking the blitz, and now a throw over to the left side. It is completed to Hunter Bunch Draychon Moody, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock at 1:52 left to play in the second, and a 1st down for the Lobos into Pirates territory.
Moody just found a spot between 2 defenders there in that zone, and there is an accurate pass from Maxwell. It was kind of a little odd side arm delivery a la Landry Gilpin, but it was right in the hands of the receiver for a 1st down.
1st and 10, ball on the Pirates' 41-yard line, and a blitz being shown here after the fake handoff to Wright. It's thrown to Moody, but Moody dropped it as it bounced into his hands, and incompletion stops the clock at 1:47 left to play in the second quarter. Pirates trying to make sure it stays 7-4, Lobos lead. At least, if they could maybe somehow get the ball back with a minute left, that'd be great.
They would have an opportunity if they could come up with a stop here. Clock has stopped on the incompletion. They do have timeouts as well, so we'll see if they get a big play here, a big stop or a loss on the play or an incompletion, look for them to use one of those timeouts.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts left. 1:47 left to play in the first half. 2nd and 10, ball at the 41-yard line in Pirates territory. It's a flea flicker here for Maxwell as he gets it back from De Leon, and he sends it deep and making the catch in the end zone, a 41-yard touchdown pass to Draychon Moody, and that's his 2nd of the game. Pirates will get the ball back, but not with the score they wanted. It's 13-3 before the point after attempt.
That was a good play call by the Lobos. Set up the defense. You've been running right pretty much straight ahead or side to side the whole game. You set up, you hand off to the running back. It wasn't right, but it's still the natural reaction of the linebackers is to move forward, and it opens up the receiver lane deep.
Jaden Brown looking for point number 14 for the Lobos on the morning, but it's a fake 2-point conversion as Maxwell lobs it into the end zone, and the 2-point conversion goes completed to Brian Madison, and the Lobos take a 15-3 lead here with 1:40 left to play in the second quarter.
You got to hope the Pirate offense comes out with a purpose, is able to move down the field and get a little bit of momentum back here going into the half. Preferably with a touchdown, but you'll take a Erbst field goal going in as well to cut into the lead. 15-3, easily within reach of the Pirates. They just need to make some explosive plays. We saw a 14-point swing earlier that led to the initial touchdown of the Lobos from the Gilpin interception at the goal line. The Pirates were about to go up 10-0, and instead they fell down 7-3. And now they're down 15-3.
Vilo and Norris back deep to receive this kickoff from Oswaldo Luna, and Luna did not allow the Pirates an opportunity to return a kick earlier.
Well, he's got the wind at his back still. It's not significant, but it is enough wind that it can assist in carrying it pretty deep.
Out here in the mountains of West Texas, not a cloud in the sky, and a little bit of a wind behind the back of Luna as he sends this one end over end, and it was touched by Norris, so Norris will have to return it inside the 5, takes it to the right hash marks, down across the 20, shakes away from a defender as a flag comes in and gets it to the 25-yard line. A couple flags might be the same thing both officials saw, but we'll see what happens here at the end of this. Norris plates
in the area of illegal block.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Likely the Pirates will start this drive with their backs against the goal line, and it is a hold.
Minute 29 left to play in the second quarter. Lobos lead at 15-3. Pirates looking for some momentum, and that penalty definitely marks them back and will put them at the 9-yard line for Landry Gilpin and the Pirate offense.
91 yards, a minute 29. It is very doable for this Pirate offense, but they can ill afford to have negative plays or pre-snap fouls if they plan to get some points here.
Dawson Gonzalez is the running back / fullback in the backfield with Gilpin as blitz being shown by the Lobos. 2 receivers on both sides. 1st and 10 from the 9. Pirates in their own territory. The blitz comes and almost completed to Mason Biggers, but the pass broken up there by Janavon Gonzalez, and that stops the clock at a minute 25 left to play and brings up 2nd down.
Bit of a dangerous pass there, because if Gonzalez had better position and was able to get his hands on that football, he had no one in front of him for the 8 yards needed to turn that into points.
Jonathan Gonzalez has pretty much been all over the place here for
first half.
The Lobos, and
Gilpin looks like he's dinged up, and so we'll probably see Coleman Kerr come in, and there he is.
Yeah, Gilpin being assisted off of the field, so Coleman Kerr, number 18 on your rosters, will enter the game.
Coleman Kerr in at quarterback.
Kerr in the pistol. He has French behind him, and French will get the give, goes behind his right guard, and will pick up a couple yards across the 10 to about the 13. I think the Pirates are going to burn their first time out of the game here with 1:19 left to play in the first half.
Brady French. Tackled by number 93, Cameron Paul. Timeout. Lobos.
So, yeah, it's the Lobos timeout.
Call the timeout.
They look like the Pirates with Landry coming out and Coleman Kerr coming in, probably not warmed up at all. They were satisfied with trying to run the clock out and go into half with a 15-3 difference in this ball game. The Lobos obviously saw that was what was going to happen when the Brady French dive straight ahead was the play call, and so they jumped and immediately called timeout. Now, it's on the Southwestern staff to call a play here, which allows a first down and prevents any Lobo possession here late. And this would be a good place to put a trick play in, because the Lobos think you're just trying to run the clock out.
Dawson Gonzalez is in the pistol behind Coleman Kerr. 2 receivers on both sides. 3rd and 7 from the 13. And just going up the middle is Dawson Gonzalez, and the second charge timeout of the half to the Lobos here on 4th down. Stops the clock at a minute 14 left to play until the halftime.
If this football was in a different area of the field with 4th and 3 and the Lobos planning on getting the ball back, I might be tempted to run some kind of fake. But with your back to the goal line like it is and down by 12 points, it is probably not the wisest thing to do to even go for it in a traditional offense or pull some kind of trick play in your special teams. It's just wise to tell Earps to get his foot into that football as far as it can go.
Earps looks like he is going to accept this punt from around the 2. James Parker back deep to receive the punt.
Will Herbst to punt.
Minute 14 left to play until halftime. Herbst will take the snap and send this one booming over Parker's head. Parker will have to try and chase it down. He wants to make a play on it. He touches it, and he'll pick it up at the 25-yard line. Jules Williams will slow him down, and then Williams knocks the ball loose. It's picked up by a Pirate. Taking it the other way inside the 15. A big momentum play. Williams knocks it loose, and coming up with the loose ball for the Pirates, breathing new life into the half for them, is Micah Justice.
This is a case of someone trying to do too much. James Parker, he should have allowed the kick to go over his head and let his offense take over in that last minute and a half. Instead, he put his hand on it. Defenders bearing down on him. He tried to pick it up, and it's not easy to do. That football is oddly shaped. It bounces in weird ways. And the Pirates continuing to put pressure are able to get the ball and move it, pick it up and move it forward even. And here we are near the goal line with an opportunity to go in with points to the half.
Coleman Kerr in the red zone now after that punt from Will Herbst and the fumble by James Parker. 1st and 10 from the 13. Pirates in Lobos territory. Vilo will try to stretch it to the right side and cuts it back to the numbers and turns his legs a little bit for a minimal gain, about 2 yards. And the Pirates will now use their first timeout of the half. They have 2 left as the clock will stop with 46 seconds left. And, man, just what the doctor ordered for the Pirates to try and take some momentum into the locker room as the Lobos lead it 15-3. They'd like to cut that to a 5-point lead before halftime.
Well, that was just a standard lead sweep on that play to the short side of the field. And, you know, the Lobos did a good job of stopping that play. The Pirates are going to have to look for something that's not as just traditional because that Lobo defense is flying around today, and they're doing a good job, especially against the run. So we'll see here. The real yardage coming from the Pirates on the ground today was Landry Gilpin. Well, he's not in the game anymore. Coleman Kerr can move with his legs. Not the same kind of situation as Gilpin, but he has good straight line speed, and he's a big kid, so he'll run over a single tackler. So we'll see what they can do here. We'll see if they release the arm of Coleman Kerr.
Coleman Kerr does have an empty backfield here on 2nd and 8 from the 11. 46 ticks until halftime. Trips left, 2 receivers to the right from the right hash mark. Vilo goes in motion as a play action and a lob to the end zone and almost brought down by Ethan Powell, broken up by James Parker. He redeems himself a little bit by keeping the Pirates off of the scoreboard on that.
Well, in that play there, it's tough because of our angle. It's hard to tell how close he was. He didn't turn his head around, though. Powell was able to jump and put his hands over the back, but he was unable to get the ball. It was just a little bit too low. But a lot of times that's called interference if the defender doesn't turn and look back at the ball. Not in this case.
3rd and 8, ball on the 11. Imagine this is 4-down territory for the Pirates with 40 seconds left until halftime. Coleman Kerr in the shotgun, Gonzalez to his left. He'll drop back for a pass. Kerr throws it to the corner, and this one broken up again, intended for, this time, Joey Robinson. And Robinson looking for a flag, and I think James Parker also goes ahead and breaks this one up. And I said it was 4-down territory, but the Pirates going to take the points here, and Will Herbst will line up.
It's still a 4th down, obviously, but right, take the points with Herbst. You cut the lead down to 9 with this field goal.
On for the field goal.
It'll be a 28-yarder. Herbst already made a 37-yarder this morning. As we are now in the afternoon at 12:12 here in Alpine, Texas, and the field goal is blocked. And
Parker again.
Watches it roll out of bounds, and it'll give the ball back to the Lobos at the 11 with 30 seconds left to play here in the first half. The Lobos lead at 15-3, and they have not taken down the timeout, so I believe the Lobos have 1 timeout left here to play with as their offense will come back out on the field. At the 20, I beg your pardon.
That's a tough break for the Pirates there. The Lobos obviously saw something where they were able to make a block attempt, and they got back there in enough time to block that and prevent points for the Pirates.
Maxwell with right behind him will give it to Wright, and he bounces out around the right side, evades one tackle, and then is brought down from behind. A flag comes in. I think that'll be a horse collar on Gage Bernard.
You know, I didn't really see him get much of a horse collar, but they may have called it around the face mask. But we have other referees with different angles that are coming in to mention what they saw, and we'll see if that flag gets waved off or enforced.
I think Wright picked up the yards close to the yard to gain, which is the 30 for the Lobos.
They are going to wave it off.
That's good officiating right there.
I didn't see a face mask. It did look like he grabbed shoulder pad, but it wasn't in the back of the shoulder pad, a la, the horse collar is generally demonstrated. What he did is he got a front part of the left shoulder pad and it twisted him around. And then Wright jumped up immediately like, that's a penalty, and the referee threw the flag. So,
well, it's a gain of 9 officially for Wright. The Lobos use their final timeout of the half. 15-3 the score. Sol Ross on top of Southwestern. 22 seconds left to play until halftime. And, the Lobos, they've put together some really explosive passing plays on the arm of Clayton Maxwell. The 52-yard bomb for the first touchdown, and then the flea flicker for 41 yards. And they might have one more trick play, and you might as well use it here as this is the final game of the season. No point in leaving anything on the scouting tape.
Unless you're saving it for this fall, which is, you want to win this game. So I would pull out all stops. And it looks like the Lobos have, and the Pirates are trying to do so as well.
22 seconds left until halftime. Maxwell in the pistol will give it to Wright, and Wright bounces around to the right side across the 35 to the 40, and he steps out of bounds at around midfield. He picks up the first down, and the clock stops at 16 seconds as he stepped out of bounds, and they give him all the way to the Southwestern 45-yard line.
That's the same play 2 plays in a row, one for 9 yards, that one for about 24 yards. Wright starts towards the middle of the line and then bounces to the weak side of the formation, is able to get outside and carry it downfield both times.
First and 45, first and 10 from the 45-yard line. Maxwell with right behind him, trips left, single receiver to the right. The clock stopped at 16 seconds left in the half. Maxwell will drop back, and he rolls out to the right, completes the pass to Madison, who had a foot in, and Eli Norris trying to say that he had a toe out of bounds, but it is completed to the 35-yard line, and he got out of bounds. 10 seconds left here in the first half, and Sol Ross picks up another first down.
They really only have maybe 2 plays. If they're lucky, they can squeeze a third, but, there's going to have to be incompletions and things like that for the clock to stop with 10 seconds remaining. Did you say they still had a timeout?
No, they've burned their final timeout.
Okay.
Scoreboard says that both teams have all 3 left, so I think the Pirates have 2 should they elect to use one of them. Here on first and 10 from the 35, it's Maxwell dropping back, fires it deep down the left sideline, and a one-hand catch that is incomplete, but flags come in as Moody almost comes down with a spectacular catch and a penalty flag in the end zone. Yeah, I think that's going to put the ball at the 2, or am I mistaken here?
Pass interference is not a spot foul in college. It'll be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. And so it'll be an automatic first down, but it won't be on the goal line.
Thank you. You are the rules expert up here, Chuck. I just do the describing.
Go as far as expert, but
you haven't been wrong too often.
You watch enough, you start to figure it out, right?
Exactly. I watch enough myself, but here with 3 seconds left, we're going to see a final play of the game.
On you, though.
That's fair. Jaden Brown here will kick this one away from the 27-yard line, making it a 37-yard attempt, and it's a low snap, but Brown still sends it through the uprights and good, making the score at the half. The Lobos 18, the Pirates 3. 15-point Sol Ross lead heading into the locker rooms, and
I think the Pirates are pretty shocked a little bit by the results of the first half, because they came out a little bit on fire, looked like they might control this ball game. but suddenly they find themselves down big as Sol Ross brings in Clayton Maxwell and goes from a running team to a quite balanced team, one that can throw a lot of deep balls and mid-range passes.
Well, we'll go ahead and take the break with the team. 20 minutes until the start of the third quarter here from Alpine, Texas. Thank you guys so much for tuning in here, whether you're watching from the future or live with us here on the 27th of March. We'll take a break, and we'll see you on the other side here on SHN Sports. 18-3 your score at the half here. I'm Carl Schoening along with Chuck Crazy. Mickey Holden, our camera operator. The Pirates heading back to their side of the field. Sol Ross already huddled up in various groups on the opposite side of the field, and I think we're not going to wait a minute 30 to get this game back underway. And, you know, Chuck, we didn't even mention it while we were chatting here. Kickoff was at 11, and it was about 12:20, maybe even like 12:15, a little shorter than that even. About an hour first half is what I'm getting at.
Well, and that's you keep the ball on the ground, that clock keeps moving, and it's working in favor of the Lobos here to this point, because even in their passing attack, they've been able to complete the majority of those passes for points on a couple of deep throws. So the Pirates have their work cut out for them coming here into the second half. They want to come out of this with a win. You know, both teams have had their opportunities. It's the Sol Ross Lobos who've capitalized, though.
The Lobos won the coin toss and elected to receive the opening kick. They did not score in the first quarter. They proceeded to put up 18 in that second quarter. The Pirates, on their second drive of the game, had Will Herbst knock through a 37-yarder to take a 3-0 lead. Since then, it's been all Lobos, and the Pirates trying to turn the tide here, the final 30 minutes of the football game. Eli Norris and Zach Vilo back deep to receive this kick, coming from Oswaldo Luna, and Luna hasn't given them an opportunity to return all day. Now he takes an 8-yard charge, puts right toe to leather, and it's a wobbly kick that Norris will have to bobble at the goal line, and now he'll try and take it down the left hash mark. Cuts back at the 20, and he gets away from one tackler, but only gets to about the 22 before he is brought down on the play by a couple Sol Ross Lobos, led by Jade Rios.
Dalton Bills out of Belleville, Texas, able to make that stop for the Lobos and really prevent what would be a pretty significant return from Norris had he broke that tackle. But the Pirates have good enough field position here to open the half, and they just need to put together some plays and get some momentum offensively.
Coleman Kerr comes out as he came in relief of Landry Gilpin, who exited the game early with an injury, and Kerr will throw on 1st and 10 from the 22, and I believe this is caught by Castilleja at the 29, called 30-yard line for a gain of about 6 or 7 yards on first down.
That was a one-handed catch by Austin Castilleja as he reached down near the carpet and pulled it up into his midsection and retained possession. Nice catch.
Pirates will take the positive yards on first down, 2nd and 3 here for Kerr. Two receivers on both sides out of the pistol. It's Brady French behind Kerr, and French will get the give, goes off his right guard, fights forward, and is close to the yard to gain. I think they'll mark him just short, and they'll give him.
Yeah. And I like that. They're setting up Coleman Kerr to carry the ball a couple of times as well. They want to let the Lobos think that Kerr's not a runner like Gilpin, and so they're going to hand off to French a few times and look for Kerr to pull that and carry it one of these upcoming plays.
A minute into the second half, Kerr in the shotgun with a new set of downs at the 32-yard line in their own territory. A 5-step drop for Kerr, and he completes the pass to Castilleja at midfield, and Austin Castilleja gets into Lobos territory at the 49-yard line after the tackle by James Parker to limit the yards after catch.
Just sticky hands by Austin Castilleja in this series here as he pulls a one-handed one off the carpet a play before and reaches up with two hands and snatches that one out at midfield.
From the right hash mark, two receivers on both sides. Coleman Kerr trying to keep the momentum going for the Pirates. A one-step drop and a completed pass to Austin Castilleja at the 46-yard line of the Lobos, keeping the clock moving here. 13:20 left to play in the third quarter.
And Lobos might want to try to tighten up the coverage there on Castilleja. Coleman Kerr confident in the senior slot receiver and getting him the ball as soon as he sees him get open on 3 straight plays.
Kerr in the shotgun. French to his left. Two receivers on both sides. From the right hash mark, 2nd and 6. And he'll roll out to the left as he's under pressure. Looking for something. He just tosses it away. The incompletion on the grounding stops the clock at 12:55.
And he wisely got the ball past the line of scrimmage. He was well outside the pocket, so no opportunity for the referee to throw the flag for grounding there. Wise, intelligent play by the backup quarterback, Coleman Kerr. It's third down, though.
3rd and 6, ball at the 46-yard line. Pirates looking to pick up the first down in Lobos territory.
Probably 2-down territory here around midfield, just inside Lobo territory.
Pirates down 15, looking for some momentum here to start off the second half. Trips left, single receiver to the right, and Kerr already under pressure. Wilden, as he takes it back to the middle field, picks up the first down across the 40 and gets to the 36-yard line, takes out there with a couple tacklers, and stopping that one from going further is Ronan Williams, but the damage done as Kerr picks up the third down conversion and moves the chains for Southwestern.
And as I said, Kerr can run the football. He's demonstrated that in the past. Hasn't got a lot of playing time this abbreviated season, but in the past couple of years, we've seen Kerr on the field, and he can run the football as well as accurately throw it downfield.
12:28 left to play in the third quarter, and a new set of downs here for Coleman Kerr at the Lobos 36-yard line. Out of the pistol with French behind him, and Mason Biggers fell down for a moment, but no flag coming in, and now
Late
whistles will stop play, as I think that
to delay a game.
Yeah, there you go. The play clock runs 0. I thought that they might call Mason Biggers, who was ready to go, and Kerr actually stopped for Biggers, and I think there was a pause on everybody's part, expecting a flag to come in for a false start on Biggers, who lost his balance, lined up on the line of scrimmage, and that moves it back to the 42-yard line of the Lobos, and the Pirates will have to deal with a 1st and 15 now.
First down and 15.
Kerr in the shotgun, 2 receivers to both sides. French in the backfield, and he'll be a blocker for Kerr, who passes to the left side. It's completed to Adrian Garza. Back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, as making the stop for the Lobos was Jonathan Gonzalez.
And the Lobos would sniff that short route out. They were looking for Adrian Garza the whole way there to receive that, and the Pirates are going to need to let Coleman Kerr throw downfield here in the second half if they want to have an opportunity to get back in this.
11:20 left to play in the third. Anthony Stevens and Austin Castiel end up on the right side. Biggers and Powell end up on the left side. Dawson Gonzalez is in there to block for Coleman Kerr, who drops back on 3 steps. And he's trying to evade out of the pocket, and then he's brought down from behind by Ronan Williams, and that brings up third down.
The pocket just collapsed on Coleman Kerr as he was moving forward in the pocket, and there really just was nowhere to go. So he wisely protected the football and took what was available to him. But it is going to be third down now and about 15 yards. Like I said, unless they get a good 10 or 12 yards here, it's probably 4-down territory for the Pirates.
Ethan Powell lined up to the left side, trips to the right for Southwestern. Coleman Kerr in the shotgun. Dawson Gonzalez lined up to the left to block here. It's going to be Ethan Powell all the way. He's trying to make the catch, and he bobbles it. Almost comes down to the breaking that one up was Xavier Menares, and that will stop the clock at 10:20 and bring up 4th down. And I think, Will Herbst will come out to punt this one and try and pin the Lobos deep.
Just too many yards to gain on 4th down there. Had there been a gain of 7-8 yards, the Pirates likely would have gone for it. Ethan Powell there suffered a little bit of contact from the defensive back and possibly could have had a interference call against the Lobos, but the referees hang on to their flags.
James Parker back deep to receive this punt from Will Herbst. He's waiting around the 6-yard line. Herbst takes a couple steps before sending a line drive to Parker, and Parker, who fumbled it towards the end of the second quarter, will just dive on top of this one at around the 13-yard line, and that's where the Lobos will start their first drive of the second half.
Yeah, he was having a moment of deja vu as the Pirate kick coverage team was bearing down on him, and so he wisely just dove onto the football instead of trying to pick it up and do something with it.
Lobos will start at the 12 officially in their own territory at 10:13 left to play in the third quarter. They have an 18-3 lead over Southwestern. Maxwell, who lost his jersey and didn't play in the first quarter, typically wears 10, wearing 19 this afternoon, has the sensational running back Ozias right behind him. Wright's been having a really good game, and they're going to have to burn a timeout here on their first play from scrimmage in the second half as the Lobos had some confusion, and I don't think that they're too happy about that. And,
no, because you spend your halftime talking about what you're going to do offensively and defensively. Obviously, they knew they were going to come out defensively and probably spend a significant amount of halftime talking about how they were going to approach that drive. But you also, with your offense and your offensive coaches, are spending – time at halftime discussing what you're going to do with the opening offensive drive of the second half, and for them to have to call a timeout is very frustrating for the coaching staff.
How hard is it to give the ball to number 23?
It is not very difficult, and he makes it look like it's pretty easy from up here. Without those accurate passes, I would say that Maxwell has one of the easiest jobs on the field today, but he's demonstrated his value to the team as well, the Sul-Ross State Lobos.
I imagine they're going to try and milk this clock as much as they can here with a 15-point lead. 10-13 left to play in the second quarter. Now the first play from scrimmage in the second half for the Lobos here as Maxwell's in the pistol with Wright behind him, and he does give it to Wright, and Wright will stretch it to the left side. He is tripped up and brought down to the backfield, and a nice tackle made by Southwestern's Patrick Nicholas, the strong safety, making a tackle for a loss to the 11-yard line.
Yeah, loss of one on that play, and you don't see many losses on carries from Wright, so the fact that you can get a loss or stop him at the line of scrimmage is a plus every time. Great effort there by number 28, Patrick Nicholas, the strong safety.
9:38 left to play in the third here. Out of the pistol, it's Maxwell. He's looking at a blitz coming from the left side. A play action. He's hit as he throws, slings it down the left side. Moody has it dropped out of his hands, and Jules Williams on the coverage. Really made that a tough catch for Moody as it goes out of his fingertips.
And that pass has been there for most of the day for Maxwell and his wide receiver, number 3, Draychan Mooney. And he had a step on the defender, but as you said, Williams was close enough to cause that to be a very difficult catch and prevent it from occurring.
Clock stops at 9:28 here in the third quarter. 3rd and 11, and an opportunity for the Pirates to force a 3-and-out.
Huge play here for the Pirate defense. They need to make sure that Maxwell doesn't complete a pass. If it is a zone coverage call, they need to tighten up their vicinity to the receivers and try to prevent any easy passes for a first.
Maxwell motions right to the left, and whistles will stop the play here, and I think this will be a delay a game against the Lobos. And for first offensive drive of a half, the Lobos definitely not happy with their execution.
Came out a little overconfident, I think, maybe, with all of the momentum, big plays and breaks that went their way in that second quarter, and maybe a little overconfident, thought they were going to come in here and just march down the field. The Pirate defense not allowing that, and then a little self-inflicted wound there for the Lobos.
They had to burn a timeout to avoid a delay game earlier. They take the delay game here and make it 3rd and 16 from the 7-yard line in their own territory. Maxwell from the 1 will drop back into his own end zone. Under pressure, he sends it deep down the left sideline. Underthrown and just off of the hands of Madison. Jules Williams again on coverage. And, man, sometimes those are the best passes for receivers to catch on the underthrown because they're the only ones that can really turn back and look at it. Williams does a good job making sure that that's a tough catch.
Well, and the coaches will coach the defensive backs in that situation. Look at the receiver's eyes. You'll see the receiver's eyes get bigger as the ball is coming closer. And Williams looked like he took that advice or coaching and reached up and stuck his hand in there and made sure it wasn't just laid in there for the receiver to make the catch. Madison.
Camden Terry back deep to receive this punt as it is sent away from Cross, and Terry will take it on a fair catch. Didn't quite see him raise it up, but the official did, and you did too.
Yeah.
And I was watching Cross there as he almost had it blocked in the end zone by a couple Pirates coming in for that one. And hey, the Pirates don't get the blocked punt, but they will get it in plus territory here for their second drive of the second half. 9:10 left to play in the third quarter.
Well, that's why the returner immediately threw his arm in the air, because the block call was on the punt defense there for the Pirates, and they were hoping to get a block there in the end zone and at least 2 points, if not a 6-point score. But now they're going to have to do it with their offense. Looks like Gilpin is back in the game.
Landry Gilpin, who exited sometime in the second quarter, late second quarter, comes back in. He's in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. 1st and 10 from the Lobos 48, completes the pass to Castilleja at the 40, and Castilleja is undercut right near the yard to gain. The tackle made by Xavier Menares, and they will move the chains for the Pirates here as Castilleja picks up the first down at about, they call it second and short.
Second and about a yard.
Oh,
a half yard if that.
If they brought out the chains just to do that, I think the Pirates would pick up the first down. I don't know. That's a pretty close one, but not a big deal. The ball officially at the 39-yard line. Clock moving at 8:37 left to play in the third quarter. Gilpin will drop back for a pass. He's under pressure, and he'll roll out to the left. And he tosses to the left side. Caught by Ethan Powell. Powell finds space at the 30, to the 20, to the 10. And he is cut down right at the 10, caught the 11 or 12-yard line. And Ethan Powell comes up with the first down for the Pirates on second and short.
Big receiver, big target. Great job by Gilpin getting outside of the pocket, away from the pressure, and delivering the ball to Powell. And then Powell with a nice turn, which caused the defender to miss the tackle and go by him and allow him to pick up a nice gain after the catch. But there is a flag down.
Yeah, I don't think anybody saw it until after the play because the Pirates are already ready to line up at the 12 for a trip to the red zone here with 8:22 left to play in the third. And the White Hat is talking it over here. I don't think he agrees with whatever the flag might be, but he's going to announce it here.
There's some discussion for sure.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the defense. After possession to the goal will be added to the run.
Well, and that's just the referees trying to maintain control of the game. They were deciding, do we throw this flag here? It was a little chippy in the first half, and it's probably continued at least chatter-wise on the field throughout the game, especially the Lobos, the one kind of initiating a lot of that in the first half. With a lead, they probably have continued.
So that moves the ball to the 6. First and goal from that 6-yard line with 8:15 left to play and the clock ticking here in the third quarter. Landry Gilpin trying to get the Pirates in the end zone for the first time this afternoon. He's going to roll out to the right and tosses it to the corner. It's caught by Austin Castilleja, and it is a touchdown for the Pirates.
Yeah, that was an obvious touchdown. He caught it in the end zone. His momentum took him out of the end zone and out of bounds right on the in-play side of the pylon. But as I said, the pass was completed in the end zone, and all it takes is the ball to cross that goal line in the possession of one of your players for it to be a touchdown.
You got to wait for the official call from the officials, but it took them a moment, and then they went ahead and lined it up and said that it was a touchdown to Austin Castilleja. A 6-yard grab from Landry Gilpin, and now the point after attempt is blocked on Will Herp's side of things, and it's picked up by Xavier Menares, and Menares has 2 men to beat, and he will not be touched as he somersaults into the end zone for a 2-point conversion.
Penalty flag for that.
And the Lobos will now have points 19 and 20 added on, and the Pirates will keep their score at 9.
Will the flag be cause the points to come off the board? We'll have to wait and see.
They're definitely talking about it here. Xavier Menares there had somersaulted from around the 2, and I think his teammate Jonathan Gonzalez is trying to tell him that, that was maybe not something to be removed from the field. They haven't added it on the scoreboard yet. It's 18-9 as it stands here, as
well, we haven't gotten a signal that it's good yet from the referees. You'll see the 2 hands go up, and you're seeing the referees now going, doing the no good signal, at least amongst each other. But let's see what the call is from the White Hat, because they are moving. There are penalty flags down near where the line of scrimmage is as well, so they're trying to hash it all out. I see 5 flags on the field. 2 have just been picked up. There's another, and 2 in this end.
Personal foul, continued participation without a helmet, number 31. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 17, slipping into the end zone. That's going to wave off the score. We'll proceed with the free kick.
We'll proceed with the free kick here following the
points are not given,
penalty.
though.
So the Pirates have cut the lead to 9 here after everything is said and done, and it's 18-9, and we will have a free kick here with 8:01 left to play. And with how good Will Herbst is with the punt, do you say punt here on the free kick, or you just go ahead and do the place kick?
It's a tough call. I would go generally. You're going to go with the punt because you can get more air and a little bit more accuracy. You're not as focused on splitting an upright with a punt, but you just a general area of the field. And Herbst has demonstrated a great skill at punting. Occasionally one will go off the so accurate, but for the most part, he's a very reliable weapon for the Pirates.
Well, the 6-yard touchdown pass from Landry Gilpin, Austin Castilleja is the first touchdown of the afternoon for the Pirates. 8:01 left to play in the third. Lobos lead at 18-9. And let's see what we have here as the officials are trying to figure out and explain to Coach Austin what exactly is happening.
I'm not real sure why a free kick is the choice after that, because to me it would seem that after the touchdown, regardless of the call on the extra point, that the Pirates would be kicking the ball off in a traditional kickoff. And it may be the case as the White Hat may have miscommunicated and just said free kick when he meant kickoff.
Makes
and that's
sense.
what it looks like is going to happen here. But Herbst does have a tee, so it is just going to be a traditional kickoff here.
Yeah, because usually you only see, if I'm not mistaken, free kicks after safeties.
Right.
So Herbst will kick it away. And back deep is Corey McMahon, waiting to receive this, as well as Jonathan Gonzalez. Will Herbst will line this one up to 35 after the offsetting penalties eliminates the point-after attempt that was returned for a 2-point conversion by Xavier Menares. Cost his team 2 points. Let's see if that's big here with 8:01 left to play in the third. Herbst sends a booming kick that will be a fair catch called for and then ignored as it's a touchback by McMahon. And the Lobos will start at the 20-yard line. The 25, I beg your pardon.
Well, and the momentum is now with the Pirates here, despite that blocked extra point, which was returned. It would have been 2 points and would have, taken a little bit of that momentum away from the Pirates back to the Lobos. But we are Lobo ball. The Pirates only down 9, 2-possession game. So Maxwell setting up in a pistol, then bringing Wright up near and hands the ball to Wright on a lead play to the wide side of the field. He'll pick up about 3 yards off the edge. A swarm of Pirates there on the tackle.
We apologize for our internet issues as we're running off of a hotspot out here in Alpine, Texas, and we'll try and get that sorted out for you as we have 7:35 left to play here in the third quarter. It's 18-9.
Pistol formation again for the Lobos. They bring Wright up and fake, and Maxwell heads straight ahead, but he runs into a wall led by Big Jay Hanna, number 42, and he maybe picks up 1 yard there on second down.
It's good to see Jay Hanna back on the field, as he left the game earlier in the first half with an injury. 7:02 left to play here in the first quarter, or the third quarter. And now here with 3rd down and 5, a good opportunity for the Pirates to get off the field.
Big play here for the Pirate defense and the Pirates in general as they want to maintain momentum here in the second half. Pistol formation again for Maxwell and Wright. They'll bring him up.
Maxwell will fake the handoff to Wright, and he'll roll out to the right, and it is a pass completed short of the yard to gain as it was caught by Logan Schnotz, and Ben Brockman cleans up after a big hit laid on by Patrick Nicholas to stop him short of the first down.
And that's a big play by the defense. You force a punt by the Lobos and give your offense another opportunity here to move the ball down the field and get more points.
So Camden Terry will receive this punt from Chad Cross. Terry, who got an opportunity to return a punt earlier, called for the fair catch of the 48, and now Cross here will send this one away as the Pirates get a 3 and out, and Camden Terry will let this one take a great Pirates roll all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Good job not trying to return that, and good fortune for the Pirates.
He didn't really have a chance. That ball was sailing over his head. He wisely didn't even try to chase it. The Pirates get a break there as it took a positive roll and a quick one as the coverage team for the Lobos was moving quickly downfield to try to down that in a tough spot, but instead the Pirates will start at the traditional 20-yard line on this drive.
So Landry Gilpin trots back out onto the field for his second series of the second half. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left is Ethan Powell. First and 10 for the Pirates from their own 20. Gilpin will drop back. Throws across the middle. It's completed to Castilleja around the 25-yard line. Picks up a couple more yards after the catch for a gain of 7 on first down.
The junior receiver is having a huge half. Austin Castilleja has caught at least 6 passes this half.
Second and 3, the clock moving here. 5:24 left to play in the third quarter. Gilpin in the shotgun. Here's Dawson Gonzalez to his left. Trips to the right, single receiver to the left, Ethan Powell. And a throw across the middle. It's caught by Mason Biggers at the yard to gain, and maybe a couple of yards more. The 32-yard line moves the chains for the Pirates as Biggers comes down with completion.
And that was a stab out of the air because that was a bullet pass from Gilpin. It was going to move past Biggers pretty quickly, but he got his 2 paws up in the air and snatched it down for the first down.
Under 5 minutes to play in the third. Anthony Stevens isolated on the right side. Ethan Powell, Mason Biggers, and Austin Castilleja on the left side.
Having a little conversation about formation.
10 seconds on the play clock here as Gilpin will drop back for a pass. Now he's going to tuck it and run on the quarterback draw. He gets to the 40, and he's trying to pick up the first down, loses the football, goes out of bounds. Flag comes in on the play.
That was right at the yard to gain. They'll likely put it where his progress stop was just shy of the first down, depended upon the penalty.
They mark it a yard short, and James Parker's saying this one goes against the Pirates. I get the feeling he's right.
Well, it may still be first down depending on the call. It looks like it will be.
They call blocking the back on Anthony Stevens. It does remain first down, and
that's a spot foul, so it's going to be about 11 yards for the first down. It will remain first down, so essentially the play negated by the penalty.
They move the ball to the 31-yard line. 4:30 left to play in the third. Anthony Stevens and Austin Castilleja lined up on the right side. Mason Biggers and Ethan Powell lined up on the left side. Dawson Gonzalez is in there as the running back with Landry Gilpin, who drops back on 1st and 11 from the 31. Gilpin gets out of the pocket, keeps his eyes down the field, lobs it up. Mason Biggers has nobody in front of him as he makes the catch to the 33-yard line, down the left sideline. The 10-5 end zone touchdown, Pirates.
Great pass by Gilpin on the run across his body. Biggers was able to separate from the defender and use that speed to scoot on down the sideline for the score.
4:05 left to play in the third, and the Pirates have cut the Lobos' lead to 3.
And can cut it further here, and they may go for 2. No, it looks like they're sending out Grant Mitchell and Erbst to do the attempt, and they're going to have to protect here for Erbst to get a good look at this kick. They've had too many blocked in the last few weeks.
Erbst can cut it to 2 here. He gets the hold, and he sends it through the uprights, and good. And it's now 18-16. Pirates trail by 2. The Lobos, who had an 18-point second quarter, are now seeing what happens when it's the other side of the ball, as the Pirates have had a 13-point third quarter here, and we have a football game, Chuck.
And lots of chatting going on after that extra point attempt. Grant Mitchell making sure that the Sul Ross line there understands that we're not going away. The Pirates are going to be here for the rest of this game. Y'all better step it up, because otherwise Pirates are going to come out with a win. Still plenty of football to be played. We know that momentum can be very fickle. We've seen it shift multiple times between the Pirates and the Lobos today, and both teams have had opportunities that they were unable to capitalize on, but the Pirates more so than the Lobos. And we'll see here what the Pirate defense can do to maintain all this momentum they've built here in the second half.
Corey McMahon as well as Jonathan Gonzalez back deep to receive this Will Earps kickoff following the touchdown by the Pirates. Mason Biggers with the explosive 69-yard touchdown to cut the Lobos lead to 2. Chance of let's go Pirates coming from the Southwestern faithful who made the trip all the way out here to West Texas. 4:05 left to play in the third. Will Herbst will line it up at the 35-yard line. He'll set up for a 9-yard charge. Readies his teammates and will put toe to leather. It's an end-over-end kicked high and a little short here for McMahon, who will have to play it off the bounce. It takes a Pirates roll, and a Pirate will jump on top of it. And, just barely, McMahon comes in and a flag as well. And Lobos will have the football. Almost grabbing that one was Camden Terry. And I think targeting is what McMahon is looking for, as it was a sort of helmet-to-helmet play, but both players are making a dive for a football. I don't know if that's a target.
That's a tough call, and they're discussing it now. The helmet-to-helmet contact was certainly not intentional, as he was just going for the ball, which happened to be on the ground.
I heard a fan for the Southwestern side yell, "It was football." And I believe that's right, because it was a loose ball. Like, I was really surprised, and very much credit to Corey McMahon for the Lobos to actually come up with that. And they're going to mark off the penalty here against the Pirates. And
it's probably just going to be an unnecessary roughness call.
Just a personal foul.
It was against the Lobos. It was not against the Pirates. It was against number 36 of the return team, per the White Hats call, and the yards were marked against the Pirates. So we're going to see the ball go back 30 yards the other direction.
I was about to say, I'm a little thrown off there, because that would have been Bernard Century, 36, I guess, for the Pirates.
Who wasn't near that play.
Yeah, and then they said the returning team, so I was like, well, that must be the Lobos, but they already marked it off. So a little confusion there, but either way, the Lobos will now start inside their own 10. 4:03 left to play in the third, and the Lobos clinging to a 2-point lead, 18-16 here, as they get the ball back.
And the Pirate defense needs to capitalize on this field position to allow their offense to have a short field after this series if they can get out of here in 3 plays.
Maxwell motions right offset to the right. And it's a zone read keeper for Maxwell. He goes around right in, evades one tackle before he is brought down by the big man, number 94, Jason Lund, for a minimal gain. Actually, he called about 5 yards. Maxwell has a little bit of deceptive speed to him.
Well, he's got that big size, and that's why you need a guy like Lund to get in there and bring him down in space like that, because he had open green in front of him to get the first down and then some.
2nd and 5. Pistol formation right behind Maxwell. 2 receivers to the right, and flanker on the left side, and a wide receiver wide left. Zone read again, a keeper for Maxwell. This time he's hitting the backfield and uses that big body to get forward a little bit more before Suarez completes the play, and only a yard comes in. A flag after the play. Let's see what this one's about. I didn't quite catch it.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting call here, because it was a late flag after the play had been whistled dead.
Yeah, dead ball foul, and they're pointing at the Pirates here, but I think they're motioning to maybe mark this off against the Lobos. So let's see what the White Hat has to say. They call it on Corey Driver.
It's probably a mouth issue, and I'm not, pointing out Driver individually, but, you sometimes say something to your opponent, and if it's the wrong thing and a referee's within earshot, they can throw that flag, and that's what happened.
And that makes it a 3rd and manageable to a 3rd and long. 3rd and 11, ball on the 8-yard line. Lobos in their own side of the field. trying to pick up a third down. The Pirates trying to continue this momentum where they've scored 13 points in the third. 3:02 with the clock moving here left in this third period of play.
The Pirate defensive front needs to get pressure here on Maxwell to maximize this third down, get off the field.
Maxwell will move right offset to the right. He'll drop back for a pass, completes the pass to right at the 5-yard line, and he is hit by a couple Pirates, and cleaning that one up is Camden Terry after the initial hit was made by, I believe, Major George.
Great effort by the Pirate defense to get off the field in 3 plays and give their offense an opportunity. Of course, we've got to get a fielded kick here. And there's stoppage on the field again.
Another flag. Coach Austin now communicating.
Another Lobo penalty.
This one goes against Ozias Wright, the big running back for them.
Again, I saw no physical contact, so it has to be your mouth. I mean, that's the only explanation. The NCAA frowns upon negative language and attacking people for, obvious reasons.
Chad Cross will have his heels at the edge of his own end zone, and Camden Terry back deep to receive this punt. It is a booming punt. Terry calls for the fair catch in plus territory, and he went forward. A flag might come in. I don't see a flag.
No,
he avoids one there. Right. Yeah, but he kind of was mad at himself there for a moment because he had so much green in front of him. He was like, I shouldn't have waved my head up, but it's still a fair catch at the 48-yard line, and the Pirates start off in Lobos territory.
Well, and I'm going to default to he was probably instructed because of the pressure on the kick to go on ahead and fair catch that ball, but, he probably also has a little leeway to change his mind, and that's why he was upset with himself.
Pirates had a 3-0 lead before the Lobos went on an 18 unanswered run in the second quarter, and now 13-point third quarter for the Pirates. They're looking to retake the lead. 2:05 left to play here in the third. Trips right single receiver to the left, 1st and 10 from the Lobos 48-yard line. Landry Gilpin with Dawson Gonzalez in the backfield with him. He'll take a few steps over to the left and tries to throw it to Ethan Powell. A little wide and in coverage there, Xavier Menares. And speaking of Xavier Menares, how big are those 2 points now?
They're huge because it's the difference of Will Earp's field goal in this game. If the Pirates can get him in position and protect the kick attempt, he'll likely make a reasonable field goal, which would give the Pirates the lead. That 2 points would prevent that and force the Pirates to need a touchdown here.
For a second there, they moved the ball to the 49-yard line, shorting the Pirates the line of scrimmage at the 48 after the incompletion that stopped the clock at a minute 59, so they reset the play clock to 25 seconds here for Gilpin and the Pirates. Gilpin tried to roll out to the right side, and then he evades a few tackles on the left side, and he has a lot of space across midfield to the 45-40, and he gets out of bounds at the 35. Call it the 30-yard line. Man, they gave him a couple extra yards I didn't quite see there, but Landry Gilpin would have been tackled for a loss back in Pirates' side of the field. Instead, he somehow turns that into a gain of about 18 yards to the 30.
I always say when I see Gilpin do this little spin that he does, it's a Tony Romo-esque move. Tony Romo did it to numerous players in his time in the NFL, and that was a similar play. The difference, Romo's not going to take off and run for 30 yards like Gilpin did, even if he had the space, and Gilpin has been advised to use your legs as much as possible, and he picks up a nice block from the big receiver, Ethan Powell, there on the edge to really add about 8 or 10 more yards to the end of that run.
And there was a point there where Gilpin, during his spin deep in the backfield, laid out, I think there was a lineman who came out and laid out about 64, 63. 63?
Yeah, that is good. Let's give him credit. That's Ty Reiner coming in and basically sealing Landry Gilpin's backside as he spun. He would have had 3 defenders in pursuit, but instead he knocks down one of those defenders. The other 2 trip over him. So great job by that offensive lineman for the Pirates, Ty Reiner.
Two receivers to the left, two receivers to the right. 1st and 10 from the Lobos 30-yard line. Gilpin in the shotgun. Dawson Gonzalez to his left. Gilpin already under pressure. Will tuck back to the middle of the field. Almost completes the pass to Dawson Gonzalez. He bobbled it incomplete. Stops the clock at a minute 29 and brings up 2nd down.
Gonzalez was in a bit of an awkward position when the ball got there, but the problem wasn't really the position because he got his hands on it. He tried to turn and run before it was secured, and as a result, it's incomplete. That does stop the clock with 1:29 here in the third. And, the Pirates only need to get about 10 or 15 yards for it to be an easy chip shot for Earps. He could potentially make it from here, but you want to make it easy on him if you're going to attempt a field goal. They want a touchdown, obviously.
2nd and 10 from the left hash mark. Gilpin will drop back with two receivers on both sides. Shovels it to Dawson Gonzalez, who gets the catch this time. And he's able to stutter his way forward for a gain of 1 after dancing around. Could have been a loss, but a nice enough job by Gonzalez to complete the pass and pick up yard to the 29-yard line in Lobos territory.
Dawson Gonzalez's main job so far today has been to protect Gilpin in his passing attempts. And he tried to pull a little Barry Sanders move there, and the defense not fooled by it, and so he was forced to just take the yard that was available to him. It is potentially 2-down territory here.
Gilpin in the shotgun. 3rd and 9 from the 29. He'll drop back for a pass. Scans to his left. Fires deep down the left sideline. Ethan Powell has it go off his fingertips. Incomplete.
You can't throw a better pass than that if you're Landry Gilpin. He hit the open receiver, Powell, had about a yard on the defender. He had great protection from his offensive line. He didn't have to move out of the pocket. He was able to set up, take his time, and make a good throw. Unfortunately, Powell unable to bring it in. And so 4th down, and we're going to have a long field goal attempt from Will Earps to try to take the lead. He's already hit a 38-yarder today. This one going to be about 46-yard attempt.
Earps will line it up from the middle of the field, sends it. It has the leg, I think, just wide left, incomplete, or no good. And that'll stop the clock at 30 seconds, and the ball goes back to the Lobos. Enough leg, just a little wide left from my view here, and the score remains 18-16. And
that was a very long attempt, a confidence in your kicker, and he, as you said, it had the distance. It just missed to the left side. The wind has died down, so that wasn't an issue. The Pirates, though, miss an opportunity there to get ahead of the Lobos and now put it back on their defense to try to get a stop here.
Maxwell from the 29-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Lobos, with right behind him. Maxwell will take the snap. He hands it off, and actually taking it left side is Kendrick Jefferson, and Jefferson is brought down for no gain. And taking the stop here for Southwestern was Peyton Ludeman.
Yeah, he met Peyton Ludeman, who rudely stopped his progress forward and really for no gain. Ludeman's had a couple of good games strung together here. Performed really well against Belhaven.
Lobos are not interested in getting a play off before the end of the 3rd quarter, so that was the final play. And we go into the 4th quarter. After a 13-point 3rd quarter, the Pirates answer back to that 18-point 2nd quarter by the Lobos. Then we have a 2-point ball game headed into the final 15 minutes of the season. Chuck, this is what we play for. This is going to be a fun final 15 minutes.
Well, and all of the games for the Pirates have been pretty exciting this season, minus maybe the Mary Hardin Baylor game. Despite the losses, the Pirates had their opportunities in all of those games, and today is no different. And we'll see what they can do going down the stretch here in the 4th and final quarter and see if they can pull this out for the first and final win of this abbreviated COVID season.
Again, this season doesn't really count, as It won't go against any of the players' eligibility should they choose to accept that going forward. It's a fun spring season so far, and
it's a little odd. You typically just have a spring game, a scrimmage of your own team, but despite missing their season, last fall they're getting to have an extended spring, which I think will benefit these teams come this fall.
Maxwell in the shotgun. Play action as he rolls out to the right and just overthrows his intended receiver, Logan Schnotz, and that brings up third down. You know, Wright picked up that personal foul at the end of the Lobos' last drive of the third quarter, and thus we haven't seen him in, as Kendrick Jefferson is now the running back in the backfield. I'm going to have to check the sideline to see if Wright's back in there.
It may be a result of the 15-yard penalty that was called against him moments ago. The coaches may have set him down for, an attitude adjustment. That happens, even at the college level.
You're only allowed to pick up 2 personal fouls, though, aren't you? And that's an ejection.
Correct.
I don't know if we got one earlier. We'll have to check up on that. Here, as hit as he throws is Maxwell. He completes the pass to Madison, who steps out of bounds at around the 42, 43-yard line, which picks up the first down for the Lobos. And Madison has been impressive with his arms so far this afternoon. Clock stop. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. The Pirates are really going to need to step up here. The last thing they need is to allow the Lobos to move down the field and even pick up a field goal. Of course, that would be the minimum you would want to give to them in this drive, but stop here around midfield is what you're looking for.
1st and 10 for the Lobos, 14:25 left to play in the ball game, and it's a handoff to Jefferson, and Jefferson goes nowhere as he runs into the trenches and picks up about a yard after being hit on the play.
Jay Hanna getting up off the bottom of the pile there for the Pirates. And, of course, he had a little bit of assistance from other guys in the middle of that line, including Seth McCrum and Grant Mitchell. There was just no movement from the Lobo offensive line beyond maybe a yard.
Under 14 to play in the ball game, and it's 2nd and 9 from the 44-yard line. Lobos on their own side of the field. Trips to the right, a single receiver to the left. A low snap taken by Maxwell. He's just going to have to dive on top of that. Major George lays on an extra lick that maybe could have been a flag half a second later. None coming right here, and sets up a 3rd and long for the Lobos.
Well, and you can't really call a flag on that play because it was the same situation, a fumble recovery attempt. The ball was on the ground long enough, and Maxwell was just getting onto it when George had launched himself to try to pick up the fumble.
And if the ball comes loose after that hit, it could be an opportunity for the Pirates to pick it up. But instead, Maxwell with the solid hands will have a 3rd and 16 now as he'll pass on 3rd down deep down the right side of the field. No one's there. Almost intercepted by Jules Williams, which would have essentially been a punt, although he maybe would have had enough space to kind of make a U-turn and turn back to the field.
He would have had to maintain his balance, which would have been difficult because he kind of had to lay out a little bit to get his fingertips on it. It's one of those that you almost want your guy to just drop it, but
he wants the stat.
Yeah, and Williams has good return skills. We've seen that, and so you don't want to fault someone for trying to make a play with the extra effort.
Camden Terry back deep to receive this punt on the low one. Goes to Chad Cross. Terry will have some space to operate here as he gets across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. Pirates in their own territory will start at the 39 officially as Camden Terry gets his first opportunity to actually return. He came in sometime in the second quarter to start returning punts.
And he's made nothing but fair catches up until that return, and he's able to pick up, 5, 6, maybe 7 yards on the return straight ahead. But this is great field position for the Pirates here in their opening fourth quarter drive to try to get the lead, wrestle it away from the Sul Ross State Lobos.
12:56 left to play in the ball game. Pirates haven't led since it was 3-0 in the first quarter. Gilpin in the shotgun. He has time to throw. Gets it to Ethan Powell, completion at the 42-yard line, who stiff arms the defender after crossing the 45, and he's pushed out of bounds there by Corey McMahon, the defensive back, and a gain of about 8 yards for Ethan Powell on first down.
A nice effort, good crossing route from Powell. Gilpin had to drop back a little deeper than he probably would have liked to on that play because of the pressure, but he was able to deliver a nice strike to Powell coming across the middle for a good gain on first down.
Moves the ball to the 47-yard line. 2nd and 2. Trips left, single receiver to the right is Anthony Stevens. Gilpin will drop back. Gilpin will decide to go around right end. He gets away from one tackle across midfield to the 45, and he sidesteps out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Picks up the first down for the Pirates.
Hunter Bunch jumped at his ankles and probably would typically trip up every quarterback in that situation except for Landry Gilpin, who was able to spring up into the air, almost straight up in the air out of his grasp and pick up the first down.
First play in Lobos territory on this drive for Landry Gilpin in the Southwestern offense. 1st and 10 from the 40. Under 12 minutes to play in the ball game. 2 receivers on both sides. From the right hash mark, Gilpin will drop back. Scans to the left side, arms it to Ethan Powell. He has space across the middle, and he somersaults forward across the 35 to the 31-yard line. And I think, again, that's moving the chains for the Pirates.
It
just
looks like
shy,
it
maybe.
may be just shy. Maybe a half a yard.
Second and 1, and Landry Gilpin will have a semi-huddle here with the Pirates.
Look for the Pirates to take a shot downfield here, because if it's incomplete or overthrown, they'll have another opportunity at 3rd and short.
Out of the pistol with Brady French behind him. Gilpin will give to French. French goes off his right guard, spins around right end, picks up the first down across the 30 as the little extra push after making the tackle from Blake Greer gives the Pirates the first down.
Or not tipped downfield. And why not take the first down there? Good call by the coaching staff to go on ahead and get a new set of downs there. Because a pass downfield could result in an interception.
Fair enough. The clock's still moving here. 10:50 left to play in the 4th quarter. Gilpin in the shotgun. 2 receivers on both sides. 2 side steps over to the right side, and a sidearm intended for Castilleja was ahead of him and goes out of play and stops the clock on an incompletion with 10:42 and brings up 2nd down from the 29-yard line.
Gilpin just had nowhere to scramble to. The receiver Castilleja was open, but he had to throw it wide to him because of the defenders that were between him and Castilleja. He couldn't risk an interception there.
French in the backfield with Gilpin. 2 receivers on both sides from the right hash mark. It's 2nd and 10 from the 29-yard line in Lobos territory. Gilpin takes the snap and looks to the left side, sends it to the left sideline, and incomplete. Looking for Adrian Garza, and almost coming up with the interception was Xavier Menares.
Yeah, I think Gilpin would like to have another opportunity at that throw. The trajectory of the ball was lower than I think he would have liked to have delivered that ball to Garza. Had he put a little bit more arc under the football, it could have dropped down into Garza's arms. Instead, the defender was able to get around and make a play on it.
Hardly a soft breeze out here in West Texas. Powell, Castilleja, and Biggers lined up on the left side. Anthony Stevens on the right side here on a pass play that's lobbed to Zach Vilo for the first down at the 21-yard line. I thought he picked up the first down. He's just shy, and that brings up 4th down, and I think the Pirates are going to stay on the football field here. They could take the field goal to try and get the lead.
They are going to bring out the kicking team.
There you go. Coach Austin thought about going for it on 4th and maybe half a yard. I thought Vilo was really close to that first down, but he was just shy according to the mark, and looks like it'll be a 38-yard field goal for Will Herbst, who knocked through a 38-yard earlier in the ball game in the first quarter from around the same spot. He has this one blocked. It's hit up in the air, and trying to pick it up and moving pile forward is offensive lineman, and it will not be there. Turnover on downs once the dust settles. And
it's Joseph Nielsen who got that loose ball.
And that will be how that drive for the Pirates, a promising-looking one, ends. And the ball goes back to the Lobos with 9:50 left to play in the ball game.
Still plenty of time left, but that's 2 opportunities to take the lead for the Pirates here in the second half that they were unable to take advantage of. And the Sul Ross State Lobos have done a good job of getting pressure on all kicks, and they blocked a few.
Ozias Wright comes back into the game. He has his position behind Maxwell. 2 receivers to the left as Wright moves offset to the left. A low snap taken by Maxwell, gives it to Wright, who finds space on the B gap on the right side, and he blows through Easton Feller before being tackled by Nicholas and picks up 7 yards to the 29-yard line.
And you can see he's come out with a bit of an attitude as a running back. Remember he got the personal foul penalty a couple of series ago, and we didn't see him for a series. Now that he's back, he's running with a little bit of an attitude. We have an injured Pirate down.
Yeah, Easton Feller really took a hit there from Ozias Wright. Hopefully he's okay, and we'll step aside during the injury timeout. 9:37 left to play in the fourth quarter. Lobos lead it 18-16. They have the ball. It'll be 2nd and 3 at around the 30-yard line. Call it the 29 when we come back on SHN Sports. Easton Feller able to come off under his own power, but he definitely took a lick from Ozias Wright, who, as you mentioned, has some fresh legs after sitting out a series, really powered through the trenches. And 9:34 as the clock picks back up here after the injury timeout. 2nd and 3 for Maxwell and the Lobos offense. Wright moves over to the left. Man goes in motion for the Lobos, and then Wright gets the handoff, but then he is hit by Jason Lund in the backfield for a tackle to the 26-yard line.
Hello. That's all you can say. Wright took the football, and he met a wall by the name of Jason Lund.
Well, I think Lund knew where the ball was going, so once he got through the space and could wrap him up, he a strong guy is Ozias Wright, but he's only about 185 listed on the roster. And let's see, what's Jason Lund listed at? 222. I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit shy of what he's actually weighing.
Maxwell will drop back on 3rd down, fires down the left sideline looking for Madison. Madison had it ripped away for a moment by Camden Terry, and then he rips it away from Terry again. The officials are going to discuss this, and Camden Terry saying he trapped it. Let's see what the officials say as 3 of them come together. And this is such a big play. They're going to move the chains and put the Lobos into Pirates territory.
You know, that's one that replay might be beneficial for the Pirates, but that doesn't exist at this level. And you take what the call is on the field, and then you're going to have to manage from that point forward. Still plenty of time. They got to stop this drive, minimize it at the very least to a field goal attempt.
8:20 left to play in the fourth quarter. A 2-point lead for the Lobos, 18-16. Maxwell takes a low snap, and then just tripping in the backfield is Wright. He got hit after he tripped, but again, that was so bang right there that I don't think there's going to be a flag on the Pirates, and it's definitely a loss back into Lobos territory of about 5 yards for Sol Ross.
Yeah, he saw Jason Lund, and he put the brakes on, and when he put the brakes on, he just fell.
Moves the ball back to the 49-yard line.
He was like, there's Big 94 again. Oh, no.
Yard to gain is the 37 in Pirates territory. Lobos from their own 49-yard line. Zone read and a keeper for Maxwell, and Lund gets the tackle again after picking up those yards to about the Pirates' 48-yard line. Brings up 3rd down.
About 3rd and 11.
Maybe 10.5 here.
Yeah, big play here for the Pirate defense as they need to stop this drive. Likely 2-down territory for the Lobos, as they haven't really been able to stop the Pirates between the 20s here in the second half.
7:04 left to play in the ball game. Maxwell in the pistol. Now Wright moves over to the left. Maxwell will drop back for a pass on 3rd and 10. Throws it to the right side. Incomplete as Jules Williams almost comes up with the interception. Miscommunication right there on who I believe the intended receiver was.
Yeah, they obviously had different reads as
Madison was the one who was running off of the route.
And it looks like the Lobos are content with that 2-point lead. They're not going to make an attempt to convert here on 4th and 10. Probably wise to punt it and force the Pirates to have as long a drive as possible to get points.
Chad Cross will send this one deep to Camden Terry, who's waiting around the 10-yard line. And this one high, and Terry will probably have to call for the fair catch. He won't even look at it as this one touches off Jules Williams, who dives back on top of it.
That
Heart
was
attack
very
for the Pirates.
fortunate for the Pirates. Unfortunate that Williams was unaware of where the ball was, and it hit him on his backside, but he felt it enough to turn around and get on the ball and keep the possession with the Pirates.
Well, it probably would have been downed inside of that 4-yard line where the Pirates are going to start. So in a way, a blessing in disguise. Jules Williams, Johnny on the spot right there, and Landry Gilpin and the Southwestern offense has 96 yards of turf in front of them. 6:39 left to play in the season. Trips right, single receiver to the left is Ethan Powell. Gilpin in the shotgun. He has Brady French to his left. Gilpin starting off in his own end zone. Just behind the goal line. One-step drop. Ethan Powell will complete the pass past the 8-yard line. I think he was able to stutter his way to the 8 there as he was tripped up there, and the tackle made by Xavier Menares.
Looked like it was a gain of about 4 yards there from Powell, the sure-handed receiver on a little out route from Gilpin. Gives a little bit of breathing room. You would have liked a little bit more after the catch, but good effort by the defender.
It's about 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. Gilpin on 2nd down, completes the pass to Mason Biggers to the 15-yard line, and then he dropped it after. Well, the official didn't see him drop it on the far side of the field, but here the line judge says that he did drop it, and that brings up 3rd down for Southwestern. Stops the clock at 6:06.
We have an injury timeout as well as Biggers is up slowly. He gets up under his own power, though.
Yeah,
likely a cramp in this heat, the way that the sun has come out.
Big 3rd down play here for Southwestern. 6:06 left to play in the 4th quarter. 3rd and 7.
Adrian Garza coming in to replace Biggers at the receiver position.
Both teams have all 3 two timeouts left for the Lobos, all 3 timeouts left for the Pirates, who trail by 2, 18-16, 6:06 left to play in this 4th quarter. From the left hash mark, 2 receivers on both sides. Landry Gilpin looking to make a big 3rd down conversion. Gilpin will drop back. Has time to throw. Throws across the middle, and Ethan Powell has to go off his fingertips, incomplete.
That was a pretty good pass from Gilpin, a little bit behind Powell, so he had to try to adjust in the air, unable to bring the ball down and force a punt from Will Earpst and the Pirates.
So now Will Earpst will have to kick this one out of his own end zone. James Parker in Southwestern territory trying to return this, and Nolan Earpst, I don't think he's going to give him much of a chance, but we'll see what he decides to do here, as this is a big punt in the ball game.
Big play.
Camden Terry will have to trot on to the field here. Plenty of time here for Herbst, as there's 10 seconds left on the play clock. Herbst from the O of Sol Ross in the end zone. Takes a snap and gets it off just in time, and a fair catch called for James Parker at the 44-yard line in Pirates territory. And, if there's ever a chance for the Lobos to add on to their lead, even if it's just a field goal to make the Pirates have to score a touchdown here with the final 5:53 of the 4th quarter, this is the drive to do it.
Yeah, there's going to have to be a stop here for the Pirate defense. They're going to have to make a big play, get a turnover, or get off the field in 3, maybe 6 plays at most.
Pirates struck first with a 3-0 lead, then 18 unanswered in the second for the Lobos. Pirates scored 13 in the 3rd quarter to give us this 18-16 lead, and now Maxwell back out in the shotgun will give it to Ozias Wright, who tried to go around left in. Suarez stops him for a moment. He stays on his feet, and the rest of the Pirates, as Patrick Nicholas comes up with a loose ball, nobody was on the turf. They blow the whistle dead, and I think the Pirates just caught a tough break right there.
That is a tough break. And once the whistle's blown, the play is dead, and there's not anything you can do because progress has been ruled stopped. And unfortunately, the Pirates miss an opportunity for a returned fumble from Patrick Nicholas, a scoop 6, if you will.
2nd and 10. The clock picks back up here. 5:13 left to play in the 4th quarter. Lobos with a 2-point lead, 18-16. Maxwell in the pistol right behind him. Right moves to the right. And it's a zone read keeper for Maxwell. He finds space on the right side across the 40 to the 35-30, and Jules Williams sends him out of bounds at around the 33-yard line. That picks up the first down for the Lobos, and everybody's expecting to go to right. Maxwell on that zone read saw all that green on the right side of the field.
And he wisely made the right read. He pulled the football away from right. Of course, all the Pirate defenders are going to try to tackle right because he's been the main weapon for the Lobos all day long, and really all season long. But Maxwell, again, wisely pulls it, gets into space, and picks up a first down for the Lobos.
4:33 left to play in the fourth quarter, and content burning time here are the Lobos. The play clock down to 5 seconds as Maxwell still looking for somebody to help him out here. 2 seconds on the play clock. He gets the play off just in time and gives it to Wright. Wright just evades a tackle from Lund, finds a little more space across the 30, and picks up about 5 yards on first down.
You know, he's not an easy tackle. He rarely gets tackled by the first defender. Looks like we have a flag down. Or it's a timeout, rather.
Tackle by number 45, Grant Mitchell.
Did you happen to catch which team called that timeout?
I did not. I think it was Sol Ross, but I don't know.
I believe I heard them say second charge timeout, which means that it would be Sol Ross's second timeout, as the Pirates have yet to use a timeout here in the second half.
They're going to need them down the stretch here with just over 4 minutes remaining here in the ballgame and in the season. Down 2 points. The best they can hope for is obviously a stop, a turnover, or something like that to prevent points altogether, a blocked field goal attempt, something like that. But at minimum, you want to only allow a field goal, but you need to force that field goal attempt here in this series of downs. Otherwise, Sol Ross State will have the opportunity to run too much clock off the game clock to give you a real reasonable opportunity offensively with the football down the stretch.
4:09 left to play in the season. Lobos lead at 18-16. It's 2nd and 5. The ball on the 27-yard line. Lobos in Southwestern territory as Sol Ross looking for their first win of the season, as are the Pirates. And you've tuned into a good one, folks. Pirates looking to make a big stop here in the waning moments of the ball game. They reset the 2 more seconds on the game clock here, so 4:11 left to play here in the fourth. Clayton Maxwell moves Ozias Wright to his right. Zone read, and this time Wright goes up the gut and picks up a couple yards to the 25-yard line, brings up a big third down, and a timeout called by Southwestern to make sure that no more time comes off the clock. 4:07 is where the Pirates call the timeout in the fourth quarter.
Southwestern.
Well, Chuck, do you think that this is a field goal area for the Lobos, even if they only pick up a couple yards?
I think as long as you have a confidence in your kicker, you attempt the field goal here because it forces the Pirates, if you make that field goal, it forces the Pirates to score a touchdown to win this game instead of relying on Earps. And now, granted, Sol Ross State has shown that they can get pressure in the middle of the line on those kick attempts and sometimes from the side, and they blocked a few of them. So a Will Earps kick, it hasn't proven to be automatic in terms of getting it off of his foot and beyond the line of scrimmage because we've seen numerous blocks.
Well, the wind is picking up here in the direction against what would be a field goal attempt for the Lobos. So if the Pirates can come up with a third down stop here, it would be a bit of a tougher kick than it would have been maybe 20 minutes ago when the wind was just a breeze.
You're correct. And that goes to confidence in your kicker and your unit as a whole.
Clayton Maxwell on a big 3rd and 4 from the Pirates' 25-yard line. A hard snap forces Century off sides, and I believe this will go against Southwestern.
And that's a tough break for the Pirates. There was movement in the offensive line, but it was a result of the Pirate defender Century coming across the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be an automatic first down after the yardage. It's not automatic, but it's a first down after the yardage.
And that moves the ball to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 for Sol Ross State.
Pirates, we believe, still have 2 timeouts. They're going to be vital here on the defensive side of the ball. You wanted to save them for offense, but after that penalty, you really need to burn them now if you get some stops.
Nobody on the right side of the field. Trips to the left and a handoff to right. Right will stretch it to the 20, and he is wrapped up by Peyton Ludeman and drags Ludeman for a couple yards to the 17-yard line and pick up a 3 by Wright.
You know, that should have been a penalty called against the Lobos there, as number 33, Edmundo Suarez, was trying to scrape down the line of scrimmage from his line position and was getting pulled from behind by his blocker. And as a result, he had his hands in the air, but the referee didn't throw the flag. So
guess they didn't see it.
Well, the only referee that would have seen it would have been the white hat, and I don't know that he was looking in that direction.
So the Pirates will use another timeout here with 3:59 left to play in the fourth quarter. 18-16. Sul Ross State with a 2-point lead, looking to make this a really hard comeback for the Pirates to score a touchdown. If nothing else, force the Pirates to need to score a touchdown with a field goal and a short clock.
Right. The other important aspect of it is the game clock, and the Pirates are trying to minimize the amount of time burned off by the Lobos here on this series or this drive.
Maxwell motions Ozias Wright to his left. He takes a low snap, and it's a design run for Maxwell. He gets across the 15 before he is undercut on the play. A nice defensive stop made for Southwestern by Kadari Issa.
So it's going to be 3rd and 4 for the Lobos, and it's certainly a manageable, easy to convert down in distance. However, the Pirates are going to do everything they can to disrupt this play and force a field goal attempt.
A big 3rd and 4. The ball on the 19-yard line. Lobos in Pirates territory.
I'm handing to Wright. If I'm the Lobo coaching staff, I'll likely run a lead play or a stretch play to the right.
Wright does get the gig. He runs up the middle, and I believe he picks up the first down right at the yard to gain the 10-yard line, and that'll bring a new set of downs for the Lobos. 3:07 left to play as the top clocks to move the chains.
Tough break for the Pirates as they were unable to stop the Lobos there on 3rd down, and really the clock is becoming a problem for Southwestern.
1st and goal from the 10. 2:50 left to play in the ball game. Clayton Maxwell in the pistol with Wright behind him.
Taking every second of the play clock.
It's down to 2 seconds as he takes a low snap. Maxwell tries to bounce outside, but a flag comes down. I believe that'll be a face mask against Wright, as making the stop for Southwestern was Micah Justice. And I believe this goes against Wright for the stiff arm face mask. But, you know, usually there's a little leeway for the running back to do that.
Yeah, I think there
so
might have been a face mask against Justice as well.
Ooh, tough one to take there. Automatic first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 5 now, following the face mask called against Micah Justice. I saw the stiff arm face mask, but you're kind of allowed to do that as a running back.
Right.
Yeah. 2:23 left to play in the fourth quarter. Maxwell really taking his time here as he steps back into the pistol with 10 seconds left in the play clock. Three seconds as he takes the snap and gives to Wright. Wright finds a hole up the middle and finds his way into the end zone for the Lobos touchdown.
The Pirates are going to have to do everything they can to prevent this extra point.
Before the point after, it makes it 24-16.
So it's a one-possession game if you can block this kick, and you give yourself still an opportunity with 2 minutes left in the game to, at minimum, go down, score a touchdown, convert 2, and tie it and send it into extra time.
Jaden Brown will attempt the point after.
It's a big one.
2:01 left to play in the fourth, and the kick is good, but a flag flies in.
and it's after the kick, so generally that's going to be either an offsides on the defense or some penalty that occurred during the execution of the play. And it is an offsides against Southwestern.
Well, the penalties decline, and the result of the play is the good extra point. So it's 25-16. The Lobos with their first score of the second half. And Southwestern has their work cut out for them. 2:01 left to play. Quick score and an onside kick is probably the best, where you recover the onside kick is the best case scenario.
Well, as a young child, I used to watch quite a bit of the NFL, and the Cowboys from the 70s were considered the cardiac kids. Roger Staubach would lead the Cowboys back from 2 scores down, oftentimes with about 2 minutes left in the game. Now, Gilpin does wear number 12, so he is wearing Roger Staubach's number, and hopefully he can channel a little bit of his inner Staubach and lead the Pirates to a comeback here.
As Waldo Luna will kick this one away, as back deep to receive are Eli Norris and Zach Vilo.
A nice kick return would be beneficial here for the Pirates.
And Luna has not really given the Pirates too much of an opportunity here, but he is kicking into the wind. Total other from the 35-yard line, and there will be a fair catch called for by Mason Biggers, who was one of the up men, and that was taken at the 17-yard line, so that moves out to the 25-yard line. And
the wise thing about that fair catch, he did have some room, and he could have potentially returned one, but no time goes off the clock on that fair catch, and the ball gets marked at the 25.
2:01 left to play in the ball game. Landry Gilpin has Brady French offset to his right. Trips to the right, a single receiver is Ethan Powell to the left. Pirates have to work quickly here. 3 down linemen for Sul Ross State. Gilpin has time to throw as he rolls out to the right, throws across the middle, and Mason Biggers does not complete the catch, I believe. Yep, and it falls incomplete, and then about 8 seconds comes off the clock, a minute 52 left to play in the fourth, and we'll do it again from the 25-yard line, second down.
That was enough yardage to pick up the first down. The Pirates would have to work quickly to get back on the line of scrimmage to minimize the time running off the clock, but you want to bring that catch in if you can, if you're Biggers.
3 receivers on the right side, and Stevens, Castilleja, and Biggers. And a drop back here for Landry Gilpin. He's under pressure. He'll roll back out to the left and throw it down the left sideline. Mason Biggers makes the catch, and he gets out of bounds.
Gets out of bounds. Wise play from Biggers there.
It's a first down picked up at the 37-yard line, and it stops the clock at a minute 42 left to play in the fourth quarter. Looks like they're going to go with the same lineup here of Stevens, Castilleja, and Biggers on the right side, and Ethan Powell on the left side. French is the man in the backfield with Gilpin on 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Pirates on their own side of the field. A pass completed to Castilleja, and he tried to stretch it out of bounds. He was tackled by Mijares, and that will only pick up about 7 yards. Doesn't stop the clock here. The Pirates have to work quickly with the clock ticking at a minute 25 left to play in the fourth. 2nd and 5 from the 42. Gilpin is under pressure. He tries to spin away and then brushes it forward. It didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, but it's incomplete.
He was out of the pocket, so that's likely not going to be a grounding call.
And there was somebody in the area too, so
true.
All the above there leads to no flag, and the clock stops at a minute 14. 3rd and 5. Obviously 4-down territory for the Pirates, who trail 25-16 here. Trips right, single receiver to the left. Gilpin has time to throw, throws across the middle. It was deflected by the umpire, I believe.
Yeah, the umpire tried to get out of the way, but it careened off of him. And unfortunately for the Pirates, he is part of the field, and it's now 4th down.
That would have been a first down completion to Mason Biggers should he have completed the catch. Nobody was around him.
It's the kind of breaks the Pirates have been getting all season. You know, the kind that you have no control over.
4th and 5, ball on the 42-yard line. Pirates on their own side of the field. 1:10 left to play in the fourth quarter. Gilpin will drop back. Steps up in the pocket, thought about throwing, instead rolls out to the right, and then just has to go off of Mason Biggers, almost intercepted by, I believe, James Parker, and that'll be a turnover on downs, as that will be an incomplete pass, but the 4th down turnover will give it back to the Lobos, and I think the Pirates have one timeout left. They haven't updated the timeouts on the scoreboard.
They may have one, but I don't think they do, and absent a miracle here, the Sul Ross State Lobos are going to win their first game of the season, and the Pirates are going to have to wait until the fall to start racking up wins. But that qualifier, absent a miracle, that's still possible.
A minute and 2 seconds left here, and I believe it'll be victory formation for Clayton Maxwell and Sul Ross State.
Yeah, they're aware of the lack of timeouts by the Pirates, and so they're going to take advantage.
Takes the knee, and that picks the clock back up, and they'll probably have to do it one more time here to make it official.
Yes, sir. It was a tough season for the Pirates, but, Carl, it was something because their season was canceled in the fall. Just the fact that they got to play some football here in the spring, to me, is a positive for the program.
Coach Austin talked about it. It's a celebration of the game, the fact that they were able to get this off as the final knee is taken, and that's the final play of the season for both teams here. Sul Ross picks up their first win of the season. They improve to 1-4 as they win the playoff game here in Alpine, Texas. The Pirates fall to 0-5 on the season. But, Chuck, you've been alongside me this whole year. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure working this season with you. Happy that we had it because we really weren't sure, in the summer and the fall what was necessarily going to happen. But here we are, just a celebration of the football season as we wrap up the broadcast before Coach Austin joins us. I believe he will for post-game. But, just your thoughts on it, as you've already kind of said a few things, but any more final thoughts?
Well, and, it just really sets the tone for the work that needs to be put in for this Pirate program to be successful going into the fall season. These teams that the Pirates faced this season, the 4 in the division as it was divided, all very competitive games, absent the Mary Hardin-Baylor game. And then, this game here, a very competitive game. The Pirates had their opportunities, unable to capitalize, and give credit to the Sul Ross State Lobos. They were able to capitalize on enough of the opportunities to pull the victory away from the Pirates. And, good game by both teams. The momentum swung back and forth, and, we've seen that momentum swing back and forth throughout this season. But, the fact that they got to play some football, as you mentioned, is the positive thing here. A lot of these guys, they may graduate from school this year, the seniors. They don't have to use a year of their eligibility, so they could conceivably come back, re-enroll in additional classes and participate in the fall. Most of those seniors are likely ready to graduate and move on to graduate school or their professional careers. We've seen past players, David Brandenburg, come back and be an assistant coach on the staff. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see that as well from one or two of these seniors. But at the minimum, the Pirates, they have their work cut out for them, but they know what is necessary. They know what is needed. They need to shore up some special team aspects. They need to prevent block kicks. They need to focus on a little avoidance of pre-snap penalties, which have put them behind the chains a few times this season and cost them some drives and potential points. And, ultimately it comes down to execution. And the Pirates had the execution pretty sewn up in most of the games. But, again, some self-inflicted wounds and bad breaks, and you end up where you're at now if you're a Southwestern Pirate, knowing that it was a rough season, a celebration of COVID, but that you were able to prepare for what's coming this fall, which is a regular, normal football season.
Looking forward to that regular football season. Hopefully we'll be able to have max capacity and be out of this whole COVID mess. But, only time will tell. And until then, Chuck, it's been a pleasure. This will probably be the last time we communicate over Southwestern airwaves for a little bit. We'll stick around to see if Coach Austin will join us. You should, too, on the live stream here, as we will take a break. And then after we talk to Coach Austin, we're going to make that trek back to Central Texas.
Should be a much more enjoyable daylight trip on the way back, although it's never fun to drive home when there's after a loss.
Well, I'm Carl Schoening, now joined by head coach of your Southwestern Pirates, Joe Austin. As he took his he sprinted up here, so we appreciate the hustle, Coach. Tough loss. Can you just give us your thoughts on the game?
Not the way we want to end it. First halves were hard this year. We battled back again. That's what our team does, but we fell short, and so. Tough way to end for some really good seniors, good young men, good parts of our program, and it shows we got a lot of work to do. I mean, not lifting weights and not having off seasons, that really hurt our football team. Hopefully now we're going to get back into a normal cycle and we can get back to training and be a better football team this fall.
So what are the steps you need to do to become the better football team?
We got to lift weights. I mean, we can't get guys down. We can't win one-on-one. At the goal line, we got tackled one-on-one to keep us out. We had a lot of guys one-on-one that weren't strong enough to bring them down. We're not strong, and so we've got to work on getting stronger. We got to get back in the weight room, and the guys have to be really dedicated. The last month we're on campus this April, and then all through the summer, because we're going to have to make a lot of improvements in our strength and overall athleticism coming into the fall.
5 months to August. You'll have a good idea of who you'll have coming back by that point, who's taking advantage of the extra year of eligibility and so on and so forth. What can you take away from this spring schedule? As you mentioned, just a celebration of the sport, obviously, at the beginning of the season, you said that. But, what are the things that you can carry over into the next season?
Well, we were competitive without an off season. We basically came off the street and played a half a football season. And we were competitive. And, you don't play to be competitive. You play to win. But it wasn't like we got ran out of the gym by anybody other than Mary Hardin Baylor. We hung in with everyone else that we played. And so that's the starting point. It just shows that we can do it. We had really great spurts in most of the games. We just have to have a great offseason. We just have to come back bigger, stronger, and faster.
Yeah, Chuck and I were talking about it off air. You probably changed 10 plays over the course of the season, and you guys are 4-1. So, that's just how it goes sometimes in just a game of inches, as football is. But it was fun broadcasting the games this season. Thank you for the opportunity again here, Coach.
Well, thank you, yeah.
And, as we sign off for the last time here on the season, are there any final thoughts?
No, I mean, it's as I said all along, I was so happy and excited to get to play. The games didn't go how we wanted, and we've got to own up to that. But in a lot of ways, this was beginning of our off season. We were finally getting in the weight room. We just got to continue to get better, to get back to where we've been in previous years, and I'm hoping our guys will come back with energy and be ready to go.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for coming up here for the post-game interviews, and we will definitely see you around 5 months until fall. So we can't wait for it. Well, I'm Carl Schoening signing off. This is Coach Austin. Your final score, 25-16. Sul Ross defeats Southwestern in the final game of the season here on SHN Sports. Good night, everybody.